could have sworn you're already an expert cook, so...
What do you guys give me if I kill that bird? Barbara, that's a bald eagle. Get away, Baldy! Yeah! This is The Wort with Mike and Pete, GubsRadio.com. Oh, boy. Let's talk about what we got going on tonight. Jesus. Pack show. Even though we had a rescheduling / cancellation by our friends over at Hopwins. They apologize for not being on tonight because they technically ran out of beer and had to reschedule to brew some more beer to come back on the show and to let us see all of the great tastes that they can create. And we'll wait for them anxiously.
Looking forward to that, yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to be good coming up. We have several shows coming up here in October, November, and December. We're booking out through Christmas into our holiday festivities. And with that, we start today with a guest in studio. You've probably heard his voice before if you are a listener of the show. Nicky Nux, Uncle Nux from Queens.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, you might want to. You can pull this up. You can adjust that. People on YouTube can see that.
I was playing with it before.
That's all right. Yeah, no. You can listen. It's full motion. You can move it all around and adjust it so you're comfortable and it's right where you are.
Yes.
Let's go through it. We have our live stream video up on our YouTube page, The Wort, spelled Wort, a podcast. We have some brand new graphics up there. Our phone number's up there. Our connection to social media is up there. Go check it out. And you can see all of us sitting here drinking, getting drunk. We also have all of our replays happening on GubsRadio.com. We are streaming live right now on GubsRadio.com. But after today, you can check us out on the Hopped Up Network, newly acquired by the Jersey Beer Guys. You can check us out on the Laughable app. Go to the App Store and type in Laughable, and there it is. Download it, search The Wort Podcast, and there we are, as well as thousands of other great comedians that we aren't. You can also go over to iTunes. And iTunes has been getting some pretty good ratings. If I check my stats and my analytics correctly, people are checking us out through iTunes. I wouldn't say it's the number one place that we're being listened to, but it is definitely a place that we're having some good times with. So we'll keep doing that.
I think those guys are gonna in for big things over at iTunes.
Yeah, they're poised to take over the world in a sense. I don't know if you knew about that. I think your mic is buzzing. I'm wondering what mic's buzzing a little bit, and maybe it's just my headphones are really loud, but I think you're buzzing a little bit. You might want to try jumping over to 3. Let's see if that's any better.
Me?
Yeah, no, you're good.
I'm good.
And I'll turn that up. No, that's probably no better.
Check.
No better.
No
better. All right, we'll stick with you on 2. Maybe if I put them both up. Actually, it's better with both of them. It's kind of weird. That's all right. I'll leave them both up. Yeah, leave them both up. And check us out on all our replays, our social media, The Wort, a podcast. We are on Instagram. We are on Twitter. We're on Facebook. And like I said, we have a packed out show today. But before we get started, Pete, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good.
Any good news in the last few weeks since we've said goodbye on our last show?
Oh, God, no. I got called in for jury duty. That's never good news.
Lovely.
Let me ask you a question. Has anyone ever brought beer into jury duty? That'd be what our phone call themes are about tonight.
I couldn't bring my fucking cell phone in.
Really?
So I was the federal courthouse in Brooklyn.
So what do you do with your time?
That I brought like my charger. I brought headphones. I was all set. I'm like, all right, I'll just be on Instagram, read the news and shit, and walk in there. And the first thing is like, no phones, no iPads, no laptops.
Can you bring like a Nintendo DS?
Nothing.
Nothing to distract you. So you have to be.
I could have brought a book if I had known that ahead of time.
You're gonna get people that don't know what to do with their own minds.
Yeah.
Like that's
So
what
what
the
about
cell
people
phone
that
is.
show up by public transportation? What did they?
Oh, they check your phone. So that's how I did it.
They lock it
I
in.
took the train in.
Yeah.
They give you a little like
a voucher.
They give you like
Or
a
like a
little
ticket.
like a little thing with a
You
number
get a
on
valet
it.
card.
Yeah, you get a valet card
Yeah.
to get your phone back at the end of the day.
And they charge it for you?
No,
That'd
they
be pretty
charge it
cool.
for me.
That'd be really cool if they let that on the charger all day.
Court security office, we're far from full service.
Excuse me, sir. Do you mind if I charge your phone for you? Like, yes. I have a long train back, and I don't want it to be on 0 because you're going to stick it in a cubby. It's going to constantly search for service, and it's going to run the battery down.
No, you have to turn it off. Too.
Really? You can't even have it on?
No.
What the fuck?
I mean, I imagine that would get annoying for security if they were.
I guess so.
Like
Yeah, just constantly
pile of fucking ring phones,
vibrating.
Right. The other assholes coming through the metal detector. They can't really take their belt off, and then you got fucking stupid ringtones going all day.
Jury duty sucks, huh?
So
what'd you do with your time? Here I am. I'm sitting in
off.
thing.
You're here, huh? You go off?
No. So I had to go back on Monday. So I go in there. I get called. They took like 20, 25 of us up to a courtroom.
Yeah.
They explained, what the case was about.
Drunk driving?
No, it's a civil case. Some guy tripped
yuck.
on the Staten Island ferry, and now he's suing.
Sue everyone.
You gotta be careful on the ferry, man. Maybe have accidents on there.
I don't know.
Yeah,
So-
well, it's always wet.
So
and
then the
people
judge
are
asked everyone a
idiots.
bunch of questions like,
Okay.
But
do
it's
you know
but
any
it's
of these
free.
witnesses that are going to be here?
Yeah.
And
Well, what if can you go to jury duty drunk?
I mean, it was like 9 in the morning.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Okay.
Closer
So
to
you
40 than
could.
I'd like to be.
So-
All night,
Good.
some people are just getting in at that time.
But you can't drink inside. You can't bring a cell phone inside. All right, that's all right. So we have a big show today. We're going to have our first call brought in, and right now we are going to talk to a bunch of people from New Jersey. Looks like our interview with our friends over at Red Tank caught some attention of some up-and-coming breweries over there in the Red Bank area. And I've been down to Long Branch and a Brick and a couple of places over there in recent months and years, actually, and have enjoyed some of the craft beer down there. And the scene down there is exploding. I mean, exploding, just like here on Long Island.
Everywhere.
Every little town in northern New Jersey, little breweries are popping up, and little hamlets, as Jim Gaffigan talked about. We'll talk about him in a little bit. And we have today a guest on the phone. I believe this is John. John, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, this is John.
What's going on?
Great to be on. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, how's it going tonight?
We're doing great. We cracked a few beers and are ready to get the show underway.
Nice. So yeah, you mentioned the town down here, Red Bank, New Jersey. It's funny. You also mentioned North Jersey. For those that live in South Jersey, they think of us as the North. For those that live in North Jersey, they think of us as the South. We're kind of in that semi-mythical Central Jersey area.
Yeah, that's true. You're not like in the very top of it. You're down, like an hour or so past the bridge and whatnot. So, yeah, I would say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. And, Red Bank's a great little town, great little hamlet. We're right on the Navesink River, and we're just a couple of miles in from the beach. So we're kind of toward the northern part of what you would call the Jersey Shore.
Okay.
And as you guys accurately described, the craft beer scene is exploding.
That's right.
Prior to about 7 years ago, for this entire state of New Jersey, there were only 5 breweries. That was at a time when New York had over 100, Pennsylvania had over 100. We only had 5.
New Jersey's been behind that.
Lagging behind
Yeah,
the tri-state area,
Oh.
John.
Big time. And then the legislature finally, got their thumbs out of their butts, and they passed some laws that really opened it up to opening craft breweries. Like prior to that, you couldn't advertise, you couldn't give out samples. It's very tough to run a business when you can't do that.
Ugh.
But guess what? Since they passed that law, the scene's been exploding. So you had a couple of guys in Monmouth County, Carton Brewing, Kane Brewing. They were really at the forefront, and you kind of see them doing some great stuff. And they inspired a whole new batch of home brewers, of which I would include, us in that category.
Mm-hmm.
And I come at it from a different background. I had been on the pub side, the retail side. We had built, owned, and operated a pub over in Staten Island, not Long Island, but Staten Island.
Okay. New York,
and then,
though.
Yeah, still New York. I mean, debatable. It's the southernmost part, but And then we did another one in Matawan, New Jersey. So starting to work our way down a little bit. And
it's like you're courting a girl. You're
realize...
just slowly dragging your hand down her hip onto her thigh.
Exactly. I'm trying to get to the good stuff.
Yeah.
So I think we're at the good spot now, down here in Red Bank. And, now we're going to come at it from the other side. We've done the retail side. We've done the pub side, the restaurant side. So now we're like, let's get into the manufacturing side. So, I began home brewing with a bunch of guys from work.
Mm-hmm.
And I brought my father-in-law, Mike, into it. And Mike's not going to be with us tonight, but he's Ace's top guy. If we ever get together again, definitely going to have him on.
Oh yeah, bring him in.
And then through happenstance, as these things tend to happen, we met Kerry and Dan, and they were with this another home brewing group, All Sorts Brewing. And have you guys had a chance to meet them or speak to them yet?
I spoke to Kerry this week in deciding how we were going to attack the phone interviews with all you guys. Our phone system isn't set up to take you all at the same time. So they nominated you to go first since you had a time frame, and you break the ice, and then they'll come in. And so you're from Ross Brewing, just to clarify, correct?
Yes, that's probably called burying the lead in the industry.
Okay.
Yeah. We are Ross Brewing,
yes.
ROSS, Ross Brewing, Ross Brewing Company.
I didn't do the proper intro, John. Sorry. I just said it was John on the phone, and then we went right into it. But I just wanted to backpedal for just a second and let you know this is Ross Brewing on the phone from New Jersey, and they've been working with All Sorts, who are going to be on the phone with us in a few minutes after John is off. So, sorry, John, continue. You found Dan and Kerry.
No, listen, no worries. I think we may have the capability. I'm not sure.
Really?
Kerry, are you there as well?
Yeah, you gave me some breathing room.
Oh, look at that.
Okay,
What's up, buddy?
What's going on, man?
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
so you guys did a little
road?
three-way, huh?
Well, it's a four-way. I'm here, too.
Creepy.
Oh, shit, Dan's there, too.
Oh, my God, now we got Dan. Here
Very
we go.
creepy.
Oh, boy, so now we're going to all have to take our turns,
everybody.
boys.
It's a lot of action.
So Kerry, go ahead. Why don't you tell the guys how we first met and how the relationship started to develop.
We met in Carton Brewing, actually, if I remember that correctly.
That is correct.
Yeah. So Dan and I are we're really just a group of homebrewing guys, just brewing some beer, and John and I became friends, and we sort of hit it off from there, I guess the big story here is that we've joined forces, so we've been brewing with John for a couple months now. We've been brewing some beers for Ross, and we get some pretty good beer coming out of it. So
nice.
We're taking that forward.
So, John, tell me about your facility and your setup right now.
Sure. So two different answers there. So the facility, we've got a great building.
Okay.
It's a 100-year-old historic building. We got a firehouse directly in the center of downtown Red Bank, which is a hop in town. Maybe for some of your audience out in Long Island that haven't come all the way down to the Jersey Shore, I don't know if they've maybe been to Hoboken or something like that, where this is a similar town, Red Bank. It's lots of shops, restaurants, bars, and we've got this firehouse right in the middle of town. It's 3,300 square feet. Wow. So we're going to divide that, obviously. We'll have a tasting room in the front, production in the back, and plans are underway there. Now, in the meantime, while we're waiting for our system to come in, which is actually a dual brew house system, we're using Atlantic Brewing Supply. It's a 15-barrel, 3-vessel brew house, and at the same time, a 5-barrel, 2-vessel pilot brew house. And so the thinking there is we can be a little bit nimbler in the tasting room as people are looking and responding to different beers that we're putting out. Right. And we can use that. And obviously, the bigger system we could use more for our distribution production. And so you're going to plan to house that all within the firehouse? That's right. It's going to be the two systems are kind of being co-designed to share some of the same things, the same hot liquor tank, for example, some of the same piping connecting into the same boiler. And so since we were able to come up with this concept from scratch, we're doing a great job with Alex and the guys over at ABS, taking our design from a concept to reality. And they've been working with us. And actually, Dan, who we're going to let speak now, he's taken the lead and worked with them on that design. Dan, if you want to talk about the system.
Yeah, so like John said, Alex has been amazing over at ABS, and we've been working on coordinating all the process piping with him and all that system. But basically, the space planning, as a lot of breweries are, is difficult. You're trying to cram as much as you can into a really small space. Yeah. Especially when you talk like John said, there's the pilot system as well as a 15-barrel brew house going in there, and then obviously you want to maximize fermenters, and we're using a steam boiler for our heating, and we'll have our glycol chiller up on the roof for cooling for the process side. So trying to cram all of that into the brewery has been quite a challenge. But a lot of gear being shipped in there. You have a big enough entrance in the back that you can get these tanks in there? We do. So the great part is it's a firehouse. We have a huge door in the front, right, that we can roll up, especially in the summer, and allow that open air feel. Yep. And and then we're opening that straight up through to the back, where the brew house is. So
Nice.
we have a pretty good access point because we're going to need it. I mean, since we're sharing that hot liquor tank, it's a 30-barrel hot liquor tank, and that's pretty sizable to get through that opening.
Yeah, absolutely.
But so we've gotten to the point where so fortunately my day job is I'm a mechanical engineer, so I actually work in building design. So I've been able to use AutoCAD and some other tools that maybe some other breweries don't necessarily have at their fingertips to actually design this thing down to the inch, basically, to maximize our space, which has been great for us.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, Dan's really been doing hero's work here because the other thing is, we get together and we change our minds, not every day, but every other day. Something comes up, some new feature that we want to add, some new piece of equipment that we think would fit in well, and carrier out will turn to Dan and say, Dan, can you figure out a way to make it work? And so far, so good. He's been able to do it.
Thank God for computers. That just punch that in, get that extra inch out of that corner, and you can bend the pipe and you get it right where you need it.
Man, we're always trying to get an extra inch. Now,
That's what she
and here's
said.
the other thing. We're brewing on a couple of pilot systems now.
Okay.
We had at Ross Brewing, in addition to that, the Sabco Brew Magic, which is how we got started brewing maybe about 3 years ago now. And what Kerry and Dan did was they actually built their own brewing rig, a little bit bigger. Guys, was that 20 gallons, Kerry?
Yeah, so it's 20-gallon max pie. I mean, we usually squeeze out 15, 16. I mean, top end is 17 gallons, but it's been really helpful doing double brew days on that, between that and the Sabco system now.
Yeah, and I just spoke to Kerry 2 days ago, and they just came off a double brew day. So that's a long day of just squeezing out 2 batches and just trying to get the name and the brand out there right now.
You're exactly right, and what having both of these pilot systems up and running at the same time now does is able to save some time. The record previously when we just had the Sabco was we were able to do a quadruple brew day. We were able to do 4 beers because obviously you can shunt the beer and then work from one tank to another and then start the next process. But even still, that was a 16-hour day.
Wow.
And that could get on you. So now, if we ever wanted to do that again, we could just brew twice on 2 systems and get it done in half the time.
That's good. You save time, more efficiency. Now, are you guys brewing together a batch and already doing collabs, or are you just doing it individually? You guys are scheduling out, what is going to happen between you, the Ross brand, and the All Sorts brand, or are you putting together one brand in the end?
So that's a great question. Thank you for asking. We've been brewing together collaboratively. I don't know. I think our first collab was back in May, where maybe we brewed the first part of a Goza on our Sabco, and then we did the second part, the souring, over on the All Sorts system.
Oh,
so that
nice,
was our
okay.
first true collab, and then we split that Goza into 2 different fermenters. One with fresh oysters, so that was the oyster Goza, and then one with local raspberries. So that was a beautiful raspberry Goza. And guys, obviously I'm a little bit biased. You may be as well. But what did you guys, Kerry, Dan, think about how those turned out? Our first collab.
Those were awesome beers, but the Goza. I mean, the Goza trend is crazy right now, and I'm pretty. I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty obsessed with basically anything sour at this point.
Yeah. Well, that's what everyone's having. I mean, you got to have one on the tap list. Yeah, it's the summer of sour, as they say.
And in fact, that was actually our most recent collab. We did a few of the Ross Brewing core recipes, which I'll be happy to talk about in a moment. But we came back around almost full circle because Dan was able to get his hand on some tart cherries from upstate New York. Ooh. And so we just brewed sour cherry saison.
Nice.
Dan, what ABV did that come in at?
That was a little over 7. I think.
Nice.
7.1, somewhere in there.
Yeah, so that was great. We like our saisons a little stronger than average saisons that are squeezing in around 5 and 6. I like them around 7 and 8. That's nice.
Yeah, it actually came out with a really great just full taste throughout. So you get the tart cherries up front, then it kind of fades into just like a more traditional sour with the Saison yeast. It's fantastic. It really came out great.
Oh, that sounds good.
We were pretty happy with that one.
Yeah.
And, it's because we've been having this success doing the collaborating that we, talked about joining forces. And, there's obviously been ongoing discussions. And I think, we might be breaking some news right here on the Wort with Mike and Pete because, All Sorts is going to come in under the Ross banner. And we're officially welcoming Kerry and Dan to the team.
Hey.
And we're gonna be going forward together as one unit now.
Nice. That's awesome, dude. So
I don't know if the cat
forces
Kerry,
combined.
is it okay? The cat's out of the bag. I don't know. What's up?
You're not put it back in.
It's out there now. It'll be on replays on the Laughable app.
You're doing it now.
Nobody's listening, right?
And the Hopped Up Network. And iTunes. Gubs Radio replays. I heard the sirens back. Maybe they're trying to contain you from saying it, but I got my own sirens here too, so there you go.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah. They're coming to get you. They said you let the cat out of the bag. You're in for it now.
That was terrible.
We were working on the Ross brand all together for about 2 years. We've got a few of our licenses in. We're waiting on a few others to get finished out so we can get selling. With a little bit of luck, our product may be able to be for sale in.
You there?
What happened?
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there you are. I got you back. Did John leave?
We're here. We might have lost John, though.
Uh-oh. John got pulled in by the cops. That's it.
Oh,
They're coming to get him.
That he has John. All right. Well, we're having a technical difficulty over here.
Well, he did have to. It was a hard 8:25 out, as we knew. So right on time.
Yeah.
John got taken by the cops. His bracelet went off, and they came and
harder
grabbed
stop
him.
than anyone had anticipated.
It is 8:24.
A mid-sentence stop. So Dan Kerry, that's a pretty cool announcement right there. You guys are all getting together and going to fly your flags under the Ross brand.
Yep.
And and basically just take in everything that's going on and combine and create a Voltron of beer, as they say.
Yeah, we have a pretty good thing going with John, and we definitely want to push forward on that and make sure everything works out for the best for everyone.
Absolutely.
Can you finish that sentence? You were going to release the beer. I'm sorry. What was that thought going to be from
John? Yeah.
John.
Hold on one second. Can we actually call right back in with?
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think we lost Kerry too.
Oh no.
Yeah, let's just merge John back in.
All right, hang on one second.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sure.
I'll just put you on mute for a second. I'll come right back to you.
We'll merge him in.
All right, we're gonna merge in John. We'll
All right, cool. So that is Dan and Kerry from All Sorts combining with John from Ross Brewing and making the announcement right here on the Wort that they are going to create one big brewery in the middle of Red Bank, New Jersey, in an old firehouse. Did you look it up? Did you go on Google Maps and see
Like
it?
an hour and 15 minutes away. I did
You guys are already seeing it.
Already
how
Googling.
fast am I going to be able to get there?
We're ready to go.
Yeah, so
It's
like
like one of
from
those
me.
like breaking news banners like CNN now,
oh, so you want to do like
which is every fucking hour.
like this, like
I'm here in a helicopter and reporting from overhead of Red. No.
God, I hate all
I
these
like
sound
that.
effects.
No,
Sorry.
we're gonna use that. That's good.
See, I told you when you absolutely put me on the soundboard and got me on this.
I want that when you introduce me the next time I call.
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Mickey Nux is flying in his helicopter above Queens. He's checking out all the new breweries here in Queens. Yes, Nick, how you doing out there? How's everything going?
Hey,
Right?
buddy, I'm over here in Queens, Ridgewood area. I see a bridge and tunnel over there. Bushwick is right around the corner.
You got to put on the voice. It's not as effective if you don't.
I'm in a
Yeah,
good
not as good as you.
Yeah, that's right.
The
You
best.
could do
You're the
that.
best.
Anything other than the beer opening is irritating to me these days.
Anything but the beer opening, like that.
I can hear that all day.
Okay, so we got plenty of that to go into our system. And do we have Kerry and Dan back? You guys back in there?
Yep. We're still here. We got John back, I believe. Too.
Hey, John, welcome back. What happened?
Hey now. So, we were just saying real quickly, with a little bit of luck, we'll have our product on the shelves in New Jersey and New York before year end. Worst case, it's going to be Q1 next year.
Excellent.
We're definitely going to launch both states. just speaking for myself, I grew up in New York City, lived in 4 of the 5 boroughs. I was mentioning before we cut off, used to date a girl in Seaford, used to date a girl in Oyster Bay.
We could throw a rock to Seaford right here.
Yeah.
All the way out in Port Jeff.
Wow.
Well, where all the breweries are, Oyster Bay, Port Jeff.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's it. So maybe that's the excuse. No, I'm not here to see you guys or stalk or anything. We're here to visit the breweries. But yeah, we're going to be launching in both states, and we're going to launch with our 5 core beers.
Okay. And what do we got? What's our lineup?
So we got our Navasink IPA, right? It's a double IPA, comes in at 7.8%.
Nice.
Brewed with 8 varieties of hops. We do it at 5 different times during the brewing process. We ferment it on ruby red grapefruit.
Ooh.
It is not what I would call a true, it's not an any IPA. We've been working on this recipe, predating that. But there are some commonalities. It is unfiltered. It is hazy. It is juicy. Obviously, all that hop presence and the grapefruit
A lot of hops.
gives it that. And it's something that we really enjoy. I think we just brewed a batch this weekend. Dan, we just brewed that together this weekend.
That's right. Yeah, that was one of our 2 brews this weekend.
It happens to also be the beer that I'm drinking right now while I'm with you guys from a batch a few weeks ago. So that's kind of like our co-flagship.
Okay.
The other one we come in with is our Shrewsbury Lager. All right. It's a little bit lower alcohol, 5.0, 5.1%.
Okay.
Amber Lager.
Nice.
Somewhere, if you could draw a triangle between, a Sam Adams, a Boston, a Sam Adams, a Brooklyn, and like a Yingling. And we're in that triad. It's crisp, very refreshing, balanced. There is a hop presence, but it's not overwhelming, of course. And, it's something that, as I'm sure you guys interview a lot of breweries, new up-and-coming starting breweries struggle with, do we do a lager? Do we tie up the tank for twice as long? And, in our mental calculus, yes, because in our area, that's something that people love to drink on the water, on the boat, on the deck, a nice crisp lager.
Mm-hmm.
And
I like
so
a nice
we're going to be offering that.
Yeah, that sounds good. What kind of malt goes into that one?
And you basically you got to do, and we've discussed this before. You got to have something out there that can tie in even the non-craft beer drinkers. They come in, they hear the word lager, like you said, they associate with the Brooklyn or they associate with the Sam, and they go, okay, a lager is something I can drink. You hook them with the lager, and then you rope them in with the other stuff like the double IPA and other things that are pretty present in most breweries today.
I think you pretty much just outlined our entire business plan. We're ready to turn over the keys to you right there. No, for sure. And I thought I heard a question about the malt. We use some Vienna malt. We use some caramel malt in that as well. And to achieve what I think is a truly beautiful color and flavor profile.
Nice.
As I said, we're launching with 5. Those are our 2 flagships. We've got 3 others on the launch. It's our Manasquan wit beer, a Belgian wit beer style. We use some orange zest, some citrus juice, some coriander.
Nice.
We're doing our Raritan red rye. So it's sort of a rye PA. Obviously, there's a lot of rye in the grain bill, and comes out a nice ruby red color. A very, very, very interesting mix of flavors there. There's toffee, caramel. You can pick a black currant. I think it actually is one of the more unique beers that we do.
Sounds very interesting.
Our 5th launch beer is our Passaic Porter, which is a honey, vanilla, chocolate porter. So we use Monmouth County, which is where we're from out here now, our Monmouth County grown wildflower honey. Ooh, and then we use some vanilla beans and some cacao nibs. And so the beer itself is amazing. What we've been experimenting with recently is that core beer, as you'll note, has no coffee in it, but people keep telling us they detect coffee notes. So we've been partnering with a lot of different local roasters to do variants, with some of their coffee as well.
You got to do the variants.
Because I positively hate coffee, John. So that sounds like a very well balanced lineup, though. You got something for everyone there. You got the double IPA, the amber lager for those people that are maybe new to craft beer. Same with the wit. That's another style that I think sucks a lot of people in that maybe had something like a Blue Moon or a Hogarten or
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, no.
And this one, we're trying to be, obviously we're shooting more towards the Allagash White than the Hogarten. But
Terrific.
To your point, you've got to get the people in the door first.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm not. I mean, I haven't had. I don't think I had Blue Moon since my 20s.
Well, since this all started, who has time for Blue Moon? There's about
those are popular styles. And you mentioned Allagash White. I think is one of the better wheat beers that's out there.
And that porter that you spoke of, you're going to be releasing. Hopefully right in time for like the porter season. You got your stouts, your porters, your browns in the winter season.
Yep.
And we love Nick's in the studio. He's our Queens correspondent. Nick loves the darker beers like I do, brown, stouts, porters, and we try to find like the most amazing taste profile or flavor profiles we can in those porters.
And that sounds great. With that honey, I like that honey.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
I'm a big honey guy. Yeah, I'm a honey guy.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. I mean, as soon as we're legally able to, we'll get a case out to you.
Boom.
And then you tell us what you think, because we're in love with it, and this is why this is going to be one of the ones that we're going to start with. But beyond that, once the tap room's open, sky's the limit. That's where some of these great collabs I've been doing with Kerry and Dan, and pretty much every time we get together, there's a pitch session, and let's just talk about pitching yeast. They're pitching different beers and ideas, and so Kerry, Dan, I don't know if one of you wants to take over as I have to get ready to tap out myself, but what are some of the other individual beers that we're looking at? I know we just did a Belgian quadruple this weekend as well.
Wow.
So talk on some of our other beers.
Well, I mean, we've had so Kerry and I have, like Kerry said before, we've kind of fallen in love with sours, both of them. So what we were doing prior to actually linking up with Ross was we'd always push out 15, 17 gallons somewhere in there, and we'd split it 3 ways, and basically every time we'd end up souring a third of it. Unless it was really something that did not have any business being soured, but. Right. We did a sour stout that was really tasty. We did a sour session IPA.
Sour stout is amazing. I had a sour porter recently. I never had sour dark beers like that before. I have a sour cherry out here, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, the first time we met with John, we sat down in his garage just to get to know each other. Nothing business related. Just a hangout. And that was the beer that we brought for him when we gave it to him. And I think John said the exact same thing. That he'd never had a dark.
That's right.
A sour stout before.
And honestly, just for first, I had known Kerry already. That was the first time, Dan, I was meeting you in person, and I was like, okay. So in addition to being cool guys, these guys can really brew, and they're creative too. So even back then, we were getting the inklings of something might get together.
Yeah. Kerry, you want to dip in on this?
He's
kicked back over here. He's lounging out.
It must be nice.
I don't know. You can see him. You can
is he drinking the double IPA as well?
No, we have Interborough right now.
Oh, there you go. Interborough is sweet.
Very good.
Which Interborough, we've got a little partiality to there as well. Jesse, of course, was over here. I mentioned right at the top of our dial-in that one of the first breweries in our county, actually the first, and in our area was Carton Brewing. Mm-hmm. And Jesse from Interborough was their brewer for, I think, their first 3 years.
That's correct,
before he spun off and did his own project, and now he's producing some killer shit. Sorry, Mom.
No, quite all right. Oh, she's listening? Oh, boy. Sorry, Mom. John's mom, we curse a lot, so after your son gets off, just turn us off.
Too.
No one else turn us off, just John's mom, because we will curse a whole bunch moving forward after the interview.
Hey, guys, I'm actually gonna jump off.
I
do got a couple of things to run to. I really want to thank you for the opportunity and for letting the Wort be the forum where we break this news, and look forward to getting back on the air. But next time, with you guys having some of our beer in your hand.
Absolutely,
that sounds great.
I talked to Kerry. You guys might even take a trip out here. It'd be great to have you in studio. We'll all sit and hang and drinks together. And if not, when you guys officially open, give us a call. We come down. We'll do a quick broadcast from there and hang out and have a good time.
Can't wait. It sounds like a great town, too.
Yeah, man.
Awesome. Hey, listen, thanks so much. That definitely sounds like a plan on both ends. You guys take care, and Kerry and Dan will take it from here. Thanks,
cool.
guys.
Thanks, John.
Thanks,
Bye.
John.
Bye.
So, boys, that's really exciting. Going to team up with this guy who, obviously you guys have the know-how and the recipes, and he's got the brewery behind him and some of the experience. So this looks like it's going to turn out to be a really great adventure for you guys.
Yeah, now that he's offline, maybe we'll invite some of his ex-girlfriends when he's not.
Bring some of that Long Island beer.
Yeah.
Some Port Jeff.
I got a
Oyster
couple of
Bay.
ex-girlfriends I can unload on you guys if you need.
Yeah.
I don't have any use for them.
The show is taking a creepier and creepier turn.
Well, I mean, it's easier if I just...
There you go.
Here we go. We're ready
So
now.
let's get into some of those really exotic beers that you guys are putting together. What do you think the most exotic thing that you guys have come up with on your own, separate from John, and then brought to the table and said, hey, check this out. Look what we can do here.
That's a great question. Like when we were brewing, we were always doing it, for ourselves. So we were always trying to do just, the weirder and crazier shit that you're really not going to be able to get in stores or in the breweries. So, we were doing like a 12% squash Thanksgiving beer.
Nice.
Delicious.
12%.
Yeah, like
12%.
just
Squash. Delicious.
And then the
defending it,
Yeah, and that'll get you
going back to-
fucked up at that Thanksgiving table. You're just eating turkey
That's what it's all
going,
about, right?
yeah, fucking guys.
That's
Yeah.
how Thanksgiving
Everyone's
arguments
loving,
get
everyone's
started.
fighting. Yeah.
That's how
Everyone
family
wants
fights
to
get
drink-
started.
That's right.
Everyone wants
And
to drink
ended.
a case of beer on Thanksgiving.
That's
We
what
just
you
want
name
to
it. You name it Family Fights, and then it's
There
a
you go.
Thanksgiving 12% beer. Perfect.
Nailed it.
Yeah, and that was the same type of thing. We split that 3 ways, and we did cranberries in secondary in one, which obviously is a staple in a Thanksgiving meal, and we did cherries in another. Different yeasts, and really tried to mix it up. And that's the great part. Even when we were just home brewing for us, and before this became something with John that obviously is going to become more than just home brewing.
Actually, I think the Irish Car Bomb was my favorite.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, what's that?
Yeah.
So my buddies and I have this tradition on Christmas Eve of doing Irish Car Bombs, and I was like, well, wouldn't it be great if we just made that into a beer, and then we wouldn't have to go through the ritual of the car bomb?
You say it like
Open
it's a
the
bad
beer
thing.
Yeah, that's part of the fun.
Yeah, but as the bartender, as the 20-year veteran behind the bar, I'm so fucking sick of trying to separate the goddamn Baileys from the fucking thing to make the presentation nice. The
it's awful.
spilling everywhere when the shot gets dropped into the Guinness. It's like this
curdling.
shit this shit everywhere. And I'm like, you know what? It's just fucking. Can you guys stop? Just stop it. Enough with the fourth car bomb. But that's a great idea. So what goes into the brewing process to brew something like a car bomb beer?
To do a car bomb, you're going to do. So we were brewing a stout. We were brewing a stout, maybe brewing it with a little bit of lactose in it, so you have that like real creaminess. That's where you get that that milk from. And then we were just literally doing some Jameson in secondary, and Jameson's making some really great beers. Really great whiskeys right now, and so we tried that out with a few different of those Jameson specialties, and that's
the Castmates, right? The Castmates, they're trading back and forth with stout barrels and IPA barrels between breweries in the area, and they'll do a batch and then they'll let it sit in a barrel. The whatever's beer they're using at the time will take their Jameson barrels and let their beer ferment in there and then give it back. It's a little back and forth, so you really are getting some of that hoppy flavor, the floral notes coming off the hops in some of those IPA Castmates, and that could be a good blend. You're right. So in the secondary, you're pouring like straight up Jameson Castmates into it. All right, and then what? And then what goes into the final stage?
So once we went into secondary, we let it sit through secondary, and then we kegged it.
Okay.
But the one thing, and I agree with Kerry, that was a good beer. I think the one thing that if we did that, we would do it differently. When we sat down, we try to be very calculated. I think Kerry's an engineer too, so we're trying to dial everything in down to the last number, and sometimes you can't do that. So we sat down and we had, we measured out a certain amount of ounces of beer, and then we mixed a certain amount of ounces of whiskey to try to find the perfect blend of where the whiskey was perfect in the beer.
Right.
I should say this was at like 9 a.m.
We were just talking about drinking at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Yes, it was kind of early.
Brewed it so early.
so we did that, and we came up with, all right, this is it. This is the perfect blend. So we scaled that up to however many. It was probably, I think we did 5 gallons or 6 gallons of the car bomb stout. But anyway, when we put it into secondary, the one thing that it's hard to anticipate sometimes with stuff like that, the Jameson actually mellowed out in secondary quite a bit. So you still got that flavor, and it still came through, and it was good, but it was not as prominent as it was when we first started to test it. And I think if we did it again, we'd probably go a little heavier on the Jameson.
Oh, all right. So when you multiplied it to get the bigger batch, it just didn't kind of translate right. So you got to kind of overcompensate for it.
Yeah, some things are scalable and some things are not as scalable. And I guess that's one of the things that you got to be a little bit more by feeling on.
Sometimes those flavor profiles balance out too, and you just it's a good ratio maybe, but if you're not going to taste it, then what's the point?
Right.
Yeah, we could taste it. It wasn't that. It was just you'd get the hints of it, and it was probably better, for somebody who's maybe not necessarily a whiskey drinker, but could appreciate that flavor profile, because it had that hint of it. You could definitely pick up the whiskey, but it wasn't overwhelming by any stretch of the imagination.
And so what did that do to the ABV in the end?
Good question. It raised it. No,
it didn't do as much as we had thought, because it wasn't a ton of whiskey that was going into it.
Okay.
I mean, we'll tell you next time when we're pouring straight handles into.
Oh boy.
A couple barrels.
I think we tried to work out the numbers. I don't know that we ever necessarily came down to a specific final ABV, but it didn't go up a lot.
Okay.
It's like half maybe.
What's the range though? Like 8, 9, 10?
I think that stout was pretty. I'm trying to remember. We did that. We did that about a year ago now. It was pretty low. It was probably around 6.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
I would expect higher for something with
especially
whiskey.
whiskey or barrel aged. I'm always seeing much higher than that. So that's interesting,
8 to
though.
10.
I would probably like that, because some of those imperials right now are just. I'm kind of leaning away towards it. I'm going more towards the porters and the nicer, normal stouts. 5.5, 7, between 5.5, 7.5. Some of those 10s, 11s are just too much sometimes.
You can have one, but it's not a drinkable beer. Multiple beers in a sitting.
Yeah.
You have one in a nice little stem glass.
One and done.
Right. Maybe a nightcap. Maybe a nice nightcap with a car bomb. That's not too bad.
Yeah, we were just having this conversation. I don't know if it's just that we've gotten a little tired of those styles or
barrel aged.
Yeah, the barrel aged, the imperials, it's stuff that we still go out and we buy, and then we sit down to drink it, and it's like, man, I can't have more than one of these anymore. It's almost too much. And I don't know if it's the New England style IPAs taking over, or the sours.
They're ruining your taste palates.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It could be that. It could just be that, we've been doing that for how many years now at this point.
But I do like a good brown ale. Now I'm all about the browns right now. So I'm trying a lot of the English style browns, those nutty ones. I'm really into that right now. I'm trying to try.
Yeah, that's probably a style that's due for its comeuppance,
Yeah. Yeah, it had its moment a couple of years ago, but then it didn't really take off like some of the other ones do. And it's a great style. I mean, it's something I think everyone would be able to drink. I don't understand.
Tried and true.
Right, exactly. So it's one of those staples that many of the breweries have. We have a local brewery right here on Long Island where I grew up in Amityville, and they came out with their Bay House Brown, and it is one of the better browns I've ever had. And thank God they're so close. I can get it anytime I want. So I'm very spoiled like that. But when someone comes out with a good brown, I appreciate it, and I'll continue to buy it. So I know there's lovers of the brown out there that will continue.
And that same place has an English style, too. They have 2 browns.
That's true. They have 2. But the English style, though, they've been switching back and forth on. So this one is one of their flagships, as they say, their cornerstones, I like to say. And that one has really just sat there on the menu in the tasting room since the day they opened.
Which is rare. You don't see a lot of breweries with the brown out there.
No, you don't. Not as a cornerstone. Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, think back at Newcastle, I remember that being one of my first imports, It was it was a big deal.
It was the late 90s, I think 1997, 98, when I was somewhere around the 20-year-old mark or a little younger, and we would go, I'm I don't want Heineken, it tastes like ass, and then the bug was nah. But then he's go get the Newcastle, the Nut Brown, and we got a keg of it for a house party That thing went so fast. People are like, what is this? This is beer? Oh, my God. It's peanut butter. We're drinking peanut butter. We're also idiots, but besides that.
10 years ago, they started doing those like little mini kegs that the Heineken was doing for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They started putting out Newcastle Brown Ale. What is it, like a gallon or something? I don't even know.
Yeah, it's somewhere in there.
around there.
It's measured in milliliters because we're in America. But yeah, they had those and like I guess Hofbrau came out with one too. You always see those in the supermarkets.
Yeah, I saw
and that's
someone
gone away
the other
now.
day had the
You don't really
Hofbrau
see
one.
much of that anymore. You might see like the Hofbrau one come through right now in
You see
Oktoberfest.
Heineken.
Yeah,
usually.
yeah, well, yeah, because
Yeah.
they're like party kegs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Take to a baseball game or
It's
something.
like a
if you're pregame.
growler and a half.
Right.
I think that's basically what it ends up
It
being.
might be two. Might
Yeah?
be two. Yeah, they're pretty bigger than you would think. I had one in a cargo bag once, and I went, "Wow, this is a lot bigger than I think." We got a lot of beer out of that. It was good. And then, of course, my taste buds change over time. So now I'm really into like a hoppy brown. So if you do like a hop hash, like Sweetwater did, that's one of my favorite beers. And the Bay House has a tremendous hop profile to it from our local brewery. So, you know, those are things that I think you would do very well in. And again, converting over regular drinkers into craft beer drinkers, people go, oh, I know what a brown is, or I know what an English style brown is, and let me try that and move forward with it.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy style too. It's not it's not anything crazy.
Right. Yeah, you're not throwing it. We're actually drinking a Schwartz beer tonight. I'm drinking the Saranac Black Forest. They come in a nice little black beer bottle, and it's delicious. We love our dark beers around this time. We're doing our best to stay away from pumpkins right now because we do not want to transition into fall just yet. There's still a glimmer of summer out there and 70 degrees.
Come on, man, it's local summer.
It's
Yeah.
Oktoberfest right now, too.
I know. Oktoberfest just started, and I'd rather drink my Oktoberfest than sip on my pumpkin beers. But
Yeah, when Oktoberfest is over and done with, I'll get like half a month of pumpkin beer.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
And really, that's all you need. I mean, I do like it, but it like years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago, we got pumpkin beer here at Governor's Comedy Club, and people lost their fucking minds. Like, someone got into a fight when we ran out of pumpkin beer. And we were getting 3 kegs at a time. We were going through them in a weekend. Everyone wanted the pumpkin. We ran out on a Sunday night, and literally we had a fight break out because they're like, I wanted the last pumpkin, and the bouncer had to kick them all out of here. It was unbelievable. I've never seen. I'm like, over a beer, just grab an Oktoberfest. We had Sam Oktoberfest.
This is Long Island.
It is Long Island. It's true.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
true.
pumpkin Dunkin'
Well, listen,
Donuts,
they're
pumpkin
used to it.
beer, pumpkin everything.
Pumpkin spice,
donuts.
all the things.
Yes, they do make all the things happen. So, I mean, obviously, next year when you're in the fall season, you guys have to have a pumpkin on tap. Have you guys brewed one yet?
We have.
John actually has. I think he's got. I know he has a seasonal. We haven't brewed it for him yet.
Okay.
And obviously he dropped off, but I think it was called like squashed or something like that. I can't remember what it was.
Oh yeah, he's got a Jacktoberfest, so it's like
yeah.
like an amber pumpkin lager.
Okay.
Which, I mean, if you're gonna do pumpkin anything at this point, like it's got to be something different. It's got to be probably something light. It's got to be
pumpkin light.
Something without all the fucking spices in it and like the kitchen.
There's one thing I don't like in all my pumpkin beers is that allspice. Too much spice, not enough pumpkin flavoring. And
you don't like chewing on cinnamon?
I don't know. I don't do the rim job at all, so I keep that off my beer, and I do.
You like to do the cinnamon challenge with your beer?
Oh.
What do you guys think about the seasonal? So like I get angry when I start seeing like I love Sam Oktoberfest. I think it's phenomenal beer, but if I see that before Labor Day, it tends to send me into a blind rage in the supermarket. What are you?
Well, it'll be gone by October, so if you want,
I know,
right.
Like,
but
as soon as Halloween's around the corner, then it's fucking winter beer all over.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, Carrie and I both have wives, so that means that we have to buy a certain amount of pumpkin beer for the house.
Yep.
So, no, but I'm kind of with you guys. I'm done with the crazy spiced pumpkin beers. I mean, if you're gonna make me a pumpkin beer, let's get some pumpkin flavor and make it taste like beer.
Right.
I don't want to drink a pie. Thanks.
The flip side of it is especially like it's tough. It's tough for these breweries. For distribution, you got to really think ahead. So like, from a business standpoint, you got to ship ship it at an early enough date so that it gets there and it's on the shelves and it's competitive and you're marketing it and all that stuff.
You don't want to be the last guy there. You don't want to be the last delivery of pumpkin beer.
Once everyone's sick of it.
Well, I think that's why
you want to be there when they first
rifled through the calendar, because someone's like, I'm going to come out with it a week earlier than that. And then another person's like, I'm going to come out with a week earlier than that. And
it's
then
like
just
the greeting cards when you start seeing,
Christmas cards.
Christmas,
July.
December 26th, you see Valentine's Day shit out there.
Absolutely. Everyone wants to be the first one to be swooped up. And they're like, oh, pumpkin, it's August 21st. And you're like, I want that. Yeah, I hear you. But I think it all stemmed from when the pumpkin craze started a couple of years ago, that all the breweries started doing a week earlier to be the first one on the shelves. And so not to be left in the dust and sitting on the shelf. And
it's like 85 in August, and you're having,
the majority of the stuff that you see on the shelves, that's like pumpkin stuff. It's all bigger breweries anyhow.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
yeah.
You're not seeing the smaller breweries doing that stuff. So there's a bit of a give and a take there. So if you're in the store and you see pumpkin stuff, like, look at who it's coming from.
Right.
I mean, they're in California. Of course, they got to ship it like a month in advance.
That's true.
Oh,
you're right.
You're not going to see Bolero snort pumpkin in September.
That's true.
I know the pumpkins in my garden aren't ready until like October or September, right? So
yeah,
they're not unless maybe they're like you said, California. Maybe they got pumpkins all year round.
Who the fuck is growing pumpkins?
But I got my pumpkins come out in like October, So
yeah. That's true.
We took a different approach to fall. We brewed a quad last week, which will be definitely a low and slow fermentation. We're going to get, we have some high attenuating yeast that just started working yesterday. So we'll see how that comes out.
Well, tell us a little bit about that recipe without, giving away the secrets. So we know about a double, we know about a triple. What does the quad mean then? What are we doing with it?
So a quad traditionally comes in between about 9 and 14%. This one should be right around 10. If we can get some really exceptional fermentation, maybe a touch more. And we're actually doing a Belgian Abbey yeast, so we'll get some the fruity esters and some of that great flavoring out of that.
Nice.
And then from the Belgian quads are traditionally pretty low ABV, so we actually had to make a couple last-minute alterations to the recipe based on what we could actually get.
Right.
But we were looking for about 28 IBU. We ended up coming in with our altered recipe probably around like 25, 26. So it's really low IBUs, and that's not uncommon for a Belgian quad like that.
Yeah, it's right along the line of the doubles and the triples. Same concept, but just increasing the ABV, utilizing the yeast. That's going to kind of conform that into a nice, like you said, 9 to 14, somewhere in there.
Yeah, and when the weather actually does start to turn, when we start to get those cooler days and nights, I mean, that's something that I want to be drinking. I literally want to go straight from my summer and my Oktoberfest to that.
Right. Yeah. I agree. Yeah, it's definitely a nice hop, skip, and a jump right into the colder times.
Yeah, I've drank my fill of lagers and session IPAs and New England style IPAs and all those big light beers, and I'm ready for it.
Yeah. Listen, I got one more question for you before we go, because we got to take a break and get to our commercials and music and pee-pee. So, Kerry, what is your? Because I try to ask this of all our brewers. What is your favorite beer? Like, just pick one that's your favorite, and what would you drink if you had any choice of any beer in wherever?
That's a really hard question, right? like, what's my favorite beer now? That's the problem. It's changing all the time.
Right. But let's say, let's escape from right now and just say over the last 10 years, what was your go-to beer?
Man.
Woo.
I know, it's a tough one.
How about a style?
All right, yeah. What's your favorite style?
Okay. That's much easier.
Okay.
I could give you even like my favorite brewery right now too.
Do both.
So I got really into the New England styles.
Okay.
I got really into industrial arts.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I went up there. I actually had a race up at Bear Mountain, and I stopped by Industrial Arts after the race. And I mean, like they're doing awesome stuff. They
so
really are.
In studio today, I have a New England IPA called Bloomerang. Have you had Bloomerang before?
Is that Industrial Arts?
It is. It's a collaboration with
It's the one with their passion fruit or something like that.
Hibiscus.
Hibiscus. Oh.
It's Two Roads in Industrial Arts, and I just picked up a
That's
4-pack this weekend and had it down at the beach, and god damn it, is freaking phenomenal.
Yeah.
This one is unbelievable. And everything that I've had from Industrial Arts, Torque, Wrench, all those that they've come out with the lineup, unbelievable beer.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess that's my answer.
Okay. New England IPA
Good answer.
and a good brewery is the Industrial Arts. How about you, Dan? What do you got?
It's a tough one. Trinity has a great beer right now. That's with that upside down label. That's can't remember what it's called. Carrie will pull it up. I would say, you know what kind of I wouldn't say it's like my favorite beer or something that over the last 10 years is something that I have been going to continuously. But lately, I would say in the last 1 to 2 years, I've really started to like the blood orange IPAs and stuff like that. Those are definitely there's been a few that I had recently. One was a Bolero Snort, and they're definitely they're not new. A lot of people are doing that now, but it's a great style of beer that I'm really into. You get that hoppiness, and the blood orange is just great. It's really complements it. And
so there's a bunch of Trinities out there. Which Trinity are you referring to? The Colorado one, or are you talking about Rhode Island?
That's the one. Hype Forager.
Yeah, Hype Forager, right?
Yeah. So that's the Trinity Hype Forager.
Right.
Beer.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So Trinity Brewing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that Colorado. Yeah.
Yeah, Colorado, right? Yeah. I was making sure that because there's a couple out there now. There's Trinity Hops. There's Trinity Forest, which is a little different. So, just to turn our listeners onto it and let them know what they're looking at. So there you go. Nice.
Yeah, Hype Forager was a find that I found at a local place down actually right by where Carrie and I live, and yeah, it was a good pickup.
Oh, awesome! All right, so we're gonna take a break. I want to say thank you to Kerry and Dan for calling in. The All Sorts guys teaming up with Ross to create a Voltron type of brewing company, opening in Red Bank, New Jersey, hopefully before the end of the year. If not, right at the beginning of Q1 of 2019. Be on the lookout for that. Gentlemen, thank you to John and you guys. It was awesome.
Yeah, man. Thanks so much for having us. We really appreciate it. Next time we'll bring you some beer in studio.
Yeah. Come down or we'll come to you. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
We're excited to taste it. Good. All right, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
See ya.
All right, later. All right, the boys from All Sorts teaming up with Ross.
Let's cut the break. I got to piss.
Yeah, I know. We drank a lot of beer while you guys were on the phone. And, you get a lot of information there. We have to sit and digest and then pee it all out really quick. So this is the Wort with Mike and Pete, GubsRadio.com, streaming live on our YouTube page. We're going to go to break, take a pee, and we'll be back right after this.
This is the Wort on Gubs Radio.
got the YouTube page. Second. There we go. Okay, we're back live on YouTube. Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's just this connection problem that the Mac has with trying to stream the YouTube stream. Our replays will be up on govsradio.com tomorrow, along with the Laughable app, Hopped Up Network, replays on govsradio.com and iTunes. And on the phone, again, another phoner today. It's a phone call Tuesday. We have Andrew from mybomberjackets.com. Andrew, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
All right, so let me tell you a little bit.
Actually, we're from local to locals.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry, Andrew. My bad. We were expecting another phone call, and I totally got them mixed up. Wow, I'm an asshole.
No worries.
I apologize. Wow. Oh, shit. So we're going to get not Andrew from mybomberjackets.com, but we have Andrew from Locals to Locals. And so let me give you a little brief rundown of what we're doing here. So we contacted Hicksville Beer Distributor here locally on Long Island, and Andrew is the owner. Are you the owner of Hicksville Brewing Distributor?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes, I am.
So he's the owner of the Hicksville Beer Distributor, which I've been to many, many times and gotten some great local beers. And he's also involved and is the owner of a brand. Is the owner of the brand, or is it the president, or how do you describe it?
The way it works, it's actually considered a certification mark, local to local. So
okay.
Certification marks that are out there that people might be familiar with are something like non-GMO or USDA organic, or more specific to what you guys talk about, Independent Craft Brewers Association.
Correct.
Deal.
Yes, absolutely. And so that's the same concept. All right, awesome. So under that flagship of the brand Local to Locals, you've been releasing some beers in collaboration with some local breweries, and we've seen that distributed here throughout Long Island and just beyond. The things that I've had, I think I spoke to you about this, was the peach wheat from Oyster Bay. I've had the IPL. That was a 5-person? No, that was the double IPA. That was a 5-brewery collaboration. The IPL was delicious, and there's many, many more that have come out since then. And I want you to tell us a little bit about what's going on with Locals to Locals and how you go about the process of getting a brewery to kind of brew a beer under that flagship or under that brand name, and how that gets distributed. And I know that's a lot of questions I just asked up front, so I'm going to give you the forum to go ahead and speak a little bit about your brand.
I appreciate it. So first off, thank you for having me on the air. Actually, this is the first time I've ever done something like this. So
nice. First time, long time.
New experience. Yeah.
Awesome.
So, so essentially the way it works is, as I mentioned, it's a certification mark. So what it certifies is when it is on a product, it tells the consumer that the product was manufactured and sold by an independent small business, so they could be confident that when they're purchasing the products that have the logo on it, that the profits from their money spent are going to be staying home in the community rather than going back to some big corporate headquarters somewhere. Which is nice. You're supporting your neighbor, maybe somebody your kid goes to school with or plays on a travel team with, and it's been an exciting process. Right now we have, I believe, 8 breweries signed up.
Nice.
Gun Hill Brewery in the Bronx is off Long Island.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah, good.
Yeah, Greenport Brewery, Sand City, Barrier, Destination Unknown, Great South Bay, Spider Bite, Oyster Bay, and then there's companies that are not related to beer, like Sail Away Coffee, North Fork Donut Company, APM Shipping Supplies, Viola Media, and it's more than just beer. It did get launched in the beverage business because it's an industry I know and love, and it started with breweries and 60 local beer distributors spread out across Long Island to really bring more awareness, relevance, and recognition to them because it's important. It's important to shop local and support people that have been staples in the community for generations.
Absolutely.
For that matter, actually.
And it's easy to shop local when it's delicious beer.
Absolutely.
I find that's my easiest local purchase.
Yes, absolutely. And we're very fortunate and lucky on Long Island right now that I think we're over 40 breweries. In New York State, we're over 500 breweries. And some of the beer that's getting turned out is just absolutely fantastic. It's, And,
what is the
and what's unique about it is we're allowing these breweries. Again, I'm just certifying a product as being that it's going to be made local and sold locally. But we really encourage the breweries to showcase different styles, not just an IPA. So most people have never had an IPL or maybe turned off on it, but the breweries that are doing it right do a fantastic job.
Yeah, I saw that the Berliner Weiss, the raspberry, was that the one that was coming?
Yep, Raspberry Berliner Weiss was a collaboration between Dubco, Spider Bite, and Great South Bay, which is a little bit tart, has some sourness to it, which personally is not a style that I enjoy, although it's a style that is really up and coming.
Very popular this summer.
It turned out to be delicious. It was refreshing in August in the middle of the summer.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
Great summer beer.
It was. Yeah, we had the peach wheat at my party this summer, which was good. And, excited to see the I want to taste that new IPA from Barrier. Barrier creates ridiculous IPAs, and this is just a single Citra hop, correct?
No, this one was Creo hops, which is a new form of hop that's almost in like a powder form, so similar to like lupulin powder.
Okay, yeah, we know about lupulin.
So
we got schooled on lupulin from, was it Dan? Dan came in and talked about lupulin powder, yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's the feature this month, and then also out right now, Gun Hill did a tiramisu pastry ale, so it's a nice alternative to pumpkin, has that sweetness that a pumpkin beer would have.
Nice.
And and then next month, Greenport Harbor is coming out with an imperial stout brewed with cinnamon and brown sugar, coming in at about 8.6%, which I'm really looking for.
Knock you over the head and put you to bed.
Where,
nice.
Other than at Hicksville Beer, Andrew, where are these available? So like where can I get some of that the Greenport
Right now, there's over 60 local beer distributors that are participating in this program, which you could go to our website, localtolocals.com, to pinpoint the one closest to you. But on top of that, you have some major guys like Superstar Beverage, Monarch Beverage, Circle M Beverage, Port Jeff Beverage, Beverage Barn in East Meadow and Bayshore, Belmore Beverage, All Island Beverage, Shoreline Beverage. I could really go on and on. Bullseye Beverage in Smithtown. But, yeah, there's over 60 beverage centers that are participating in this. And the next step, hopefully, in the long run will be to launch this into local pubs and restaurants as well and give them more awareness that they deserve and help some of these local breweries stand out that are competing in a marketplace that there must be thousands of different brands that are sold in Long Island or New York State that are not specific to local beer.
Absolutely. And we always talk about, excuse me, here on the show, how there is so much customer base here that you can still release good, solid beers and still, generate the revenue that would support your local brewery. And by doing this, you're raising even more awareness about those breweries by putting their label on. And again, I said to you, I guess, through social media that the can art is very simple but so acknowledgeable. And you can see it in the store and you go, boom, that's another local to locals brand. And I got to try that one, and it's almost like a series. And so what people do is they get involved with that and get hooked on that. And then they just try each one each month. And I think that's a great thing.
Yep, and what's great about that is actually the can art was done by another beverage center, Monarch Beverage. His wife actually created that, and it's just amazing the work that she puts together, and a lot of people have commented on that, which has been nice. So
it just stands out.
It's a way to work together, and really another part of this is what I try to explain to people and pitch to breweries is that when the average consumer walks into a store, if they see a brand like Greenport Harbor or Oyster Bay Brewing Company, or let's say Montauk Brewing Company, it means something to them because it's named after a town on Long Island. So they could associate with it. If they've had a positive experience with that town, they're more likely to grab the product. But other breweries out there that are participating in, like Barrier Brewing Company, Spider Bite Brewing Company, Destination Unknown, the average consumer doesn't necessarily understand that that's a local product. But now if they see this stamp of local to locals on the on the label, they can now know, oh, wow, this beer must be made within the state of New York. Let me do some more research. They start turning the can. Hey, Destination Unknown is in Bayshore, New York. Spider Bite is in Holbrook. Barriers in Oceanside. And whatever style they enjoy, and are intrigued by, they're more likely to hopefully grab that product because they now know it's a local brand.
It's a great concept to try to bring people into even more hyper local areas. Talk to me about the other products that are sold there. You said there was the Sail Away, the cold brew, and of course the donuts. So how did they get involved? Did they see?
Sail Away Coffee Company took out a sponsorship. And what's been great about this experience for me is really finding out what brands are truly local out there. Mm-hmm. And even talking to you guys today, I may not have known you guys existed or how local you were until we connected on social media. And now I look forward to listening to your shows and talking to you guys about beer, and hopefully one day getting down there and seeing the full operation.
Absolutely. You could get a sneak peek into the studio by going onto our YouTube page. Type in the Wort, a podcast, or Mike and Pete, and that'll pop up, and you'll see us live right now in our surroundings. Shameless plug. Yes, sorry. As you know, we're a local-based company, and yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things that I've seen Sail Away in even at some of the beer fests, and so it's a connection that they can make now through your brand. To come to some of these events and some of these beer fests and sell a local product. The same thing with the donuts. I mean, if I'm at a beer fest and I see a donut, a frosted freaking donut, I'm buying
You're looking for
out of
that first stout or sweet flavored porter.
Oh, and I'm trying to make the pairing myself.
6 donuts.
Yes. 6 is being very reasonable.
More than that, the long run goal of this is to really just create a almost business or local community network to support one another. And what I think would be great is if North Fork Donut Company does a collaboration with one of these breweries and throws some donuts in there.
And you took the words right out of my mouth.
Sail Away Coffee throws some coffee in one of these beers, and I would pay extra for that. So.
Yes, I would.
Do a pop-up. They could do pop-ups in the breweries, too.
Absolutely.
Serve the food to the places that don't serve food. A lot of the places out in the city do that.
Yeah, they do a little pop-up tent outside and selling their local donuts there. But you're right, a coffee stout brewed with, old-fashioned donuts. So you have that bread, you have that stout, or porter, whatever you want to use, and you have the coffee flavor there. It's a great combination. I think you're right. I would pay a little extra if it was a nice collaboration between all these local businesses.
You can make potato donuts and do a gluten-free stout.
Potato donuts.
I've had potato donuts.
What
They're fucking great.
All right, we're gonna have to get back to that.
Potato vodka too.
Yes, and get LIV involved, and now you can do what the guys over at Ross are doing, and that's jump some Jameson into a stout, and then you can make it I don't know, what do you call it? Like a whipped cream
mashed potatoes
stout, which would be like a whipped cream martini.
There's the name right there.
What would you say?
Mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes.
All I know is you guys are getting me thirsty.
Yeah. Well, right now.
Or hungry. I don't know which one. So.
Both, yes. Right now we're actually drinking something from Industrial Arts, a Two Roads collaboration that we spoke to the guys over at Ross about. It is the Bloomerang. It is a New England IPA brewed with hibiscus, and it is delicious. It's got that nice rose look. It's got a New England flavor, a little juicy. And I would assume that, after and you guys, by the way, the brewing of the Locals to Locals beers would have to follow suit in regards to the season. So I would imagine you're going to stick to a couple of darker beers in the next few months to kind of match the seasons. And then go back to...
Yeah, as of right now, we had, as I mentioned, the Green Port is going to be an Imperial Stout with cinnamon and brown sugar. Then Spider Bite will be brewing after that. They're going to be doing a chocolate coconut porter.
Love that one.
Yeah.
And then after that, I believe Destination Unknown is up, and that's still to be determined. But really, we want to allow these breweries to showcase their talents, because
Absolutely.
It really is exactly what it is talent that they could come up with these recipes and these beers and on a weekly basis. Like Barrier puts out 5 new beers a week. I don't even know how they do it, but it's
so true. They every time I look at their board, I'm like, holy crap, what the hell is that? Where did that come from?
and they all come out good. So it's a fun time to be in this industry, and a fun time to really showcase some of these breweries.
It is a great time to be a beer lover. There's never been
this many
variety.
Options,
yeah, and so much of it is good. That's there's, even if you're not into every style, there's so many good IPAs out there. There's so many good stouts, ambers. There's all these new styles, gozas.
Yeah, and personally, I think Long Island is very IPA heavy.
Agreed.
And it's a style it's my favorite style, along with Imperial Stouts. But what I really like about this program is we're not only putting out IPAs and we're not only putting out stouts. We're allowing these breweries the flexibility to really showcase all different styles of beer, so consumers have a chance to try them, and they might otherwise would have not tried them. And it's been fun. It really has been fun. I've gone to a lot of the days that they brewed the beer or the days that they canned the beer, and just hanging out with the guys, seeing all their facilities or their breweries, and knowing that this is being made essentially in our backyard is pretty amazing. And then once it gets to the stores, it's never fresher than this whole combination of local to local.
I mean, you're getting it within 24 hours of it being canned, correct?
Yeah, it has to go through a little distribution process. If they're contracted to a wholesaler, it has to go to the wholesaler. But they're getting out into the stores within a week of them being canned, essentially, if not sooner than that.
And you really don't want it to come out, I don't know, let's say within 24 hours, because as we learned, there's sort of a
week is about right, actually.
Yeah, there's a can shock that goes on in the first few days or so. So you kind of do want it after that. I got a question for you. For the breweries that are out there and our local breweries that may be listening, because we do have a very heavy-based brewer audience, what does it take to become part of the brand of the Locals to Locals?
Essentially, reach out to me. You could contact me through social media like you guys did, or email contact@localtolocals.com. And I would really set up a meeting and really pitch the whole process to you. There is a money aspect to it, but it's truthfully not about money. This isn't a company I'm taking a salary from. It's really just the cost of doing business and helping to showcase all these different breweries. But I truly believe there's a huge benefit not only to breweries but to bars, restaurants, and beer distributors as well.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that. To get it out even past the distributors and get into the bars and restaurants is a big deal.
Yep, and that's really what I'm looking to do next, and start setting up some meetings with bar owners. So if any bar owners are listening out there, I'd be happy to come meet with you and tell you how it could not only benefit you but also the local breweries, because at the end of the day, we ask people to come to our local establishments and support us because we're local, but I think it's just right that we give back to the local breweries and support them as well.
Absolutely. I agree
and that's
with that.
what's great about this. There's nothing that says you have to do anything. The local beer distributors are not going to stop selling Bud and Bud Light and Heineken, and the local breweries are not going to stop selling to Walmart or Target or any of those places, but this is just a way for us to support one another and help showcase one another in ways that have never been done before.
Nice. Andrew, so what is the next step besides, just moving into the restaurants and bars? Is there a next, I don't want to say plan, but is there a next level that we can get to that will kind of increase that kind of awareness?
I mean, it's just the continuous education of what we're really trying to do. The more the logo is seen, the more people will know about it, per se. Mm-hmm. So I think beer distributors on Long Island, there's only 100 of us. There's so we're kind of limited to the reach that we have.
Right.
But local brewery or local restaurants and bars, there's 2,500. So
yeah, so there you go.
That's
really
there's a lot more there.
That's end game right there.
And then, and then in the long run, it's really, we want not only the local consumer to understand where they could buy local products or what products are truly local, but if somebody's coming to visit Long Island and be a tourist I want them to have an avenue to go to a website or go to social media and find out what products are truly local.
Awesome.
Nobody needs to come to visit Long Island and see another Walmart or see another Applebee's or see another this.
That's true.
They want to get a true sense of what the community they're visiting is really about, and there's no better way than going to see local establishments.
The flavor, the local flavor.
Yes. I agree with that, because when I go on trips, and Pete here can attest to it, the first thing we do is scout out the local breweries in the area.
Absolutely.
We hijack our family vacations to go to breweries and find out what that local is, and that's truly what it is. So do you think you could bring the Local to Locals brand nationwide and make it, each state has their own Local to Locals branding element? Is that something that could be done?
That could be a very, very long run goal. I have to prove its concept and the idea locally here at first in New York State, and that's because it's the state that I call home and I love. But essentially, it is geared and set up if we could get the right people in place to go. It works on a state-by-state basis, essentially. If you see this logo in New York, you know the product is local to New York. If you see the logo in New Jersey, if it gets to that point, you'll know the product is local to New Jersey. But right now, I'm just focused on Long Island specifically, New York State. That's why we reached out to Gun Hill Brewery. They were very happy to be a part of it, and they've done 2 beers under it. West Coast style IPA, Unite or Die IPA.
Yep, I saw that.
And then the Tiramisu Pastry Ale, which I highly recommend if there's anybody out there that likes pumpkin beer to go
Give that
pick
a
up
shot.
that beer at one of the stores.
As a nice alternative to constantly drinking squashes. Orange-colored squash. Andrew, we really appreciate you calling in, dude. This is awesome. And, I'm sorry you couldn't make it in today from your offload or whatever you had to do today. But when we have our next show, I'll be in touch with you. You come down, hang out with us, and hopefully we can get one of those local breweries in here with you. That'd be ideal. Either get Barrier or Dubco or Greenport in here. We haven't kind of reached out to all of the breweries yet. We have so many breweries here. We're
close
kinda,
to 50, I think.
Yeah, we're just trying to wade through all of them, the startups first, and then we're going to work our way up. We've had Montauk, we've had Spider Bite, we've had Long Island, we've had Port
Fire
Jeff.
Island.
So those are Fire Island. We've had a lot of big ones in there too. But now we're trying to move our way up through all those the startups to get the story of that, and then we're going to kind of switch over and move our way through some of the big boys, and we'd really love to have you in with one of those guys.
Yeah, we could definitely work on that, and I look forward to just seeing your guys' operation. And again, I appreciate you giving me the time to talk and express my passion for this project that I've been working on.
And Andrew, you did really, really well. I mean, for the first time as a call-in to a radio show, that was awesome, dude.
Like I said, it may not be my expertise, but once I start talking about this, I am truly passionate about the project and the movement per se, and really just bringing recognition to any local business that's on Long Island.
Awesome. All right, man. We appreciate you calling in. We'll talk to you soon. I'll be out there on social media, and as soon as we get our pictures taken, and we'll promote the locals as much as we can when we get some beers in here.
Awesome.
All right, buddy.
Thanks,
I'll
Andrew.
Talk to you guys soon.
All right.
Bye.
Later. Hey, it's Andrew from Local to Locals. I totally fucked up and said it was for my bomber jacket. I got to text him and get him back to him to get him on the phone. That'll be our next call. In the meantime, like I said, we were drinking the Industrial Arts 2 Roads Hibiscus New England IPA. What did you guys think about that one?
I liked it a lot.
That's amazing. That's the best hibiscus I've had so far.
I've
had a few.
Very different
best.
than the Trogs one, the Crimson
I've
Pistol.
had that one, and that
I like
one,
that a lot. This is, I was more of that New England style IPA.
Yeah, a little juicy in there, and the hibiscus. Have you ever had dry hibiscus?
No.
So we made a couple of drinks in our martini list and our drink menu with hibiscus flavored liqueur, and then topped with a dry hibiscus, and we had this little jar of dried hibiscus flowers, and they're actually really sweet. Like you would never know how good they are once you dry them out and do the proper drying process. And I would just sit there behind the bar and eat them. It was like candy. They are actually really, really good. You wouldn't think that you hibiscus, you're like, it's a flower. It's going to taste too floral. No, but once you dry them out right and you do the right thing to them,
Like the honeysuckles when you were a
Yeah.
kid.
Oh God, I used to fucking love those.
Oh, they are really very, very good.
We need a honeysuckle beer.
Yeah.
So
Ooh.
like, can you you can still taste that though, right? That's
Yes.
one of those flavors that like
Amazing.
never leaves you.
It will never leave.
Yeah.
It'll never leave you.
Summer. That's the summer
Yeah.
flavor, right?
Fuck yeah.
We need a honeysuckle beer for summer.
Ooh, there we go. We'll do that next time when we do a collaboration.
See that?
Graz is going to pull the chocolate stout in the winter, and then we'll pull the hibiscus.
Honeysuckle.
I'm sorry, the honeysuckle.
There you go.
And we'll do some sort of ale or IPA or something like that with the honeysuckle.
Make a freak variety pack.
This is The Wort with Mike and Pete. We're live on govsradio.com, streaming live on our YouTube page. Check it out. Give us a call, 516-465-3990 or 516-513-0515. We have the phone lines open, and like I said, we take all our calls directly to the air. We had scheduled in our friends from All Sorts and Ross, and scheduled in Andrew over there at Local to Locals. Visit him on localtolocals.com. You can take a look at the brand and kind of what it supplies and who the people are involved are. And then you can also take a look at Andrew's Instagram page from Hicksville Beer Distributor. It's Hicksville Beer. And it's on Woodbury Road in Hicksville, and he's got a lot of the new releases and stuff that comes out. It's some great stuff, and of course, the brand new Local to Locals, which is the Barrier IPA made with cryo hops. And I thought it was Citra. I kind of didn't zoom in like I was supposed to on Instagram, but it was made with cryo hops. And like he said, it's really a promotion of some of the best breweries here on Long Island. And his lineup, that's a solid lineup. Greenport, Barrier. Sand City, Dubco, Great South Bay. Those are the heavy hitters here on Long Island.
Those are people. Yeah, those are breweries that people know. Lately, particularly Sand City is obviously
killing it
for themselves.
Huge.
Greenport's
and Gun Hill.
everywhere.
I don't want to stop talking about Gun Hill, but they're not Long Island per se. But they have a strong presence in a lot of the beer distributors. They have a tremendous amount of beer out there, and from what I've had from them. I forget what the name of it is. It was something about a street that's in and around the Gun Hill area, and it was delicious. It was I believe it was just a standard IPA. It wasn't a New England or a double or dry hop or anything like that. And it was a solid beer.
Well, Gun Hill Road is a street in the Bronx.
That's correct.
Yep. Maybe.
No, that's what it's named after. It's right off that.
But you were saying it was named after a street.
No, but it was another street.
Different street.
I know Gun Hill was
maybe
named.
Maybe it was the cross street. Maybe.
It's great. It might have been the cross street, or it might have been just like where one of the guys grew up or something of that nature. But it's kind of cool. And they have, Local to Locals has a webpage or an Instagram or Facebook. So just go ahead and type in Local to Locals, and you'll find all the stuff.
I'm on there right now trying to find the closest beer distributor
down
to
the
my
block
house.
from Morrison.
Like, how fast can I get there tomorrow?
Superstar in Amityville seems to be
Well,
closest
down
to
the
me.
block from Morrison's also, which was part of that LI Craft Cares.
Oh, yeah.
Fair. They were one of the bars that were involved with that, and they're right down the block on Woodbury Road also. So
Absolutely, yeah, it's right on that street.
Yeah, and I guess Local to Local is the one by the train station over there on Woodbury Road.
Yep.
because
North
that's-
Fork
yeah.
Donut.
Yeah, if you take the back route behind
Sears.
Sears, right? Well, the
You'll
ex
end
Sears.
up right there, as soon as you hit Woodbury
Exactly.
Road. Yeah,
How do
I've
you
been
know
there.
all that?
I've been there.
I've
before.
been there, motherfucker.
Everywhere they got good beer, I've been.
That's right. This guy follows everybody. I mean, he's following more than we do. In
my
the studio
car.
today,
I follow them in my car.
Nicky Nuts.
in the studio, we got Nicky Nux. Uncle Nux is here, and he brought in some beers from Queens. We're going to get to those in a minute. We're going to take a quick break. Not bake. We're going to go ahead
Maybe
and
bake
pee.
too.
We could do that, but we're going to do some pee-pees. And then when we get back, we'll take our call from mybomberjackets.com. By the way, if you don't know what mybomberjackets.com, I'll give the quick promo now. Go on to mybomberjackets.com. On mybomberjackets.com, you're going to find koozies, what amounts to koozies. But for 16-ounce beers, have you been at a party, people have the 16 ounces, and all you have in your back pocket is a 12-ounce beer koozie? It's truly not keeping the entire beer cold throughout the entire time. So you need to go onto mybomberjackets.com and purchase one of these. And the designs are fun. They have a beer mail, a UPS logo that says IPA. They have mac and cheese, Campbell's soup. These are some great, koozie designs. They're fun. They're enjoyable. They're a great talker at the parties. Grab a My Bomber jacket, or a bomber jacket in that case, a 16-ounce can koozie at mybomberjackets.com today. And for the near future, If you go on to mybomberjackets.com and enter the promo code WART15, you will receive 15% off your order. Any orders, I believe, over $30 are free shipping. So you can buy like a six-pack.
Probably pretty easy to do.
Yeah, no, if you buy a six-pack of bomber jackets, you're going to get. It is a good Christmas gift for all those out there who are listening.
There are beer cozies for pint glasses.
Yes, they have beer koozies for pint glasses. They have beer koozies for bottles, zippered, 12-ounce bottle koozies. All those things are available on mybomberjackets.com. This is a new product that has been hitting the social media web tubes for a good couple of months and years, and it only turned on to me recently when I tried to put a 12-ounce koozie on a 16-ounce beer and realized it's really not keeping the thing cold.
Nope, doesn't do shit.
So go to mybomberjackets.com. If you go on their Instagram, social media, it's Bomber Jacket, and you'll find they just came out with one that's Sour Skittles. It's a kettle sour goes from the Barrel Brothers, so they're doing a collaboration. They have a nice little zipped-up bomber jacket that has a wood grain on it that looks like a tree trunk. Like I said, Gatorade for your 12 ounces if you want to stick to that.
Kraft mac and cheese.
Kraft mac and cheese, but it says craft beer.
The ice.
It's fun. You know, you go to a party, you put this on, and people are like, what are you, drinking mac and cheese? What are you doing over there? It's a fun little talking point. So if you go onto mybomberjackets.com, type in the promo code WORT, WORT 15, you will receive 15% off your order. Go ahead and do that now. This is The Wort with Mike and Pete. We'll be right back after this.
This is Ghost Radio. listening to The Wort on Govs Radio.
Hey, moron, it's pronounced the Wort.
What the hell is a wort?
It's pronounced the Wort.
What is it? The wort? Yeah, okay, I'll do that again. This is The Wort on Govs Radio.
It is the Wort. Not wart, not fort, not short. The Wort.
I'm sorry, I just don't know what that means. When do you guys start drinking?
Who says we haven't been drinking?
Where's mine? If I say it correctly this time, can I have a drink?
We'll think about it.
You're listening to The Wort on Govs Radio.
Oh yeah, it's The Wort with Mike and Pete. We're here live on GovsRadio.com, streaming live on our YouTube page. We're going to get our friend from MyBomberJackets.com on the air. We haven't heard from Graz tonight, which means we should get his phone call any minute now. Who knows what's going to happen?
We talk about chocolate stouts.
Of course. I don't think chocolate stouts are in the MyBomberJackets.com wheelhouse. He doesn't really make beer, but he makes beautiful can koozies for our 16-ounce bombers. And here it comes. This is The Wort with Mike and Pete. Who am I talking to?
It's about fucking time.
Oh, my God.
And that wasn't practice at all, because literally you just called and I took it live to the air. What's going on, buddy?
Hi. This is your Nassau Suffolk correspondent?
Yes, Nassau Suffolk correspondent. You remember your title that we gave you. Awesome.
What's up, Graz?
Hi, Pete. I miss you. Pasta night's coming up, Pete.
I'm looking forward to it. We're hanging out.
Here he's got his double ticket.
Everything well?
Everything's good, man. I was hoping to see you at the welcome back barbecue at the school, but apparently there's no welcome back barbecue.
The budget, there's no welcome back barbecue in Howard this year or whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, Pete, can I ask you a question?
Shoot.
How the fuck in God's name did you get jury duty?
Dude, I was all set. I was all set to give one of the lawyers some shit and just be like, I can't stress to you enough how much your odds of a mistrial go up if I'm on the jury.
Yeah, just tell them you like unicorns or something like that.
You know what? It was a judge. Like, it was a judge asking the questions. So I'm like, well, she can do things to me legally.
Sexy things
Dude,
to
I
me
would have had
legally.
my hand in my pocket playing with my gherkin the whole time. That she whispered over the lawyer, get this guy out of here.
Little pocket pool.
I would have been playing with myself. There's no fucking way I'm on jury duty.
I had to go to fucking Brooklyn and shell out like $35 for a fucking train ticket.
You're getting reimbursed for
I
that.
get reimbursed for it, but you got to lay it out. It's just fucking annoying.
It's so stupid that they bring you into Brooklyn when you can easily just go to your Nassau County over.
Someone else in the jury is from like fucking Bohemia.
What the fuck?
So she's driving by the fucking Central ISA courthouse.
Right, literally driving by to get to it, taking the train right by it. Hey, it could have been right there 2 seconds ago.
Hey, is Uncle Knuckles there too?
Uncle Nux.
I'm here.
Yes, Uncle Nux is here.
You get in the studio, Uncle Nux, and I can't even get an invite to that show.
I told you, open invite any day. You've
been on this. You came in the last time we had Dan from Fire Island.
That's true. Yeah.
When's Dan coming back?
I don't know. We should talk to Dan.
Yeah,
I want to see how their tasting room's coming, or I hope it's coming soon.
Are we supposed to be going to a couple of grand openings? This Red Bank one. Holy crap, that place sounds great. A firehouse, 3 breweries, whatever we're going to do.
We got to take a trip out there.
Together.
Yeah, you driving, Graz?
We can get the bang bus.
We taking the bang bus out there or what, buddy?
I'll take the bang bus out there. Yeah, that's a threesome, right? What are they going on? What's the name of that brewery that they're all jumping on?
That's right. And you got Red Tank from Red Bank opening up. You got All Sorts combining with Ross to open up. There's going to be a nice little hub there, and apparently it's a very walkable town. You can go to restaurants and shops and stuff, so it'll be a nice little Saturday.
All you have to do is find a pizza place.
Did they invite us out for the grand opening?
Of course. Yeah. Listen, all of those invites are open.
They could not have been nicer.
Yeah, and everyone from New Jersey so far. Open arms.
This is the greatest beer show ever. Work with Pete and the Penis. I love it.
Graz, I have our next caller on. I appreciate you calling in. Well, let's talk shop in a few days and see what's going on with the station, see what's going on with the show, and let's plan a trip and let's go do something.
Wow, I'm getting pushed for another brewer.
Bumped.
Talk to you soon, Graz.
Goodbye, Johnny. Thursday night, 8 o'clock.
Ooh, Goomba Johnny's coming on?
Yeah, and then Mad Dog Russo might call it if he doesn't fucking fall asleep at the pillow with his kids.
Yeah, see what happened there.
Who you getting on now? A fucking brewer from Poughkeepsie?
Listen, I drink way too many high alcohol content beers and bombers, and what happens is I fall asleep really quick. But it wasn't about that. It was just a long day, and I was having a rough go, so it wasn't
What do
really.
you got, a jacket company coming on now? Who's coming on now?
So this is our friend from mybomberjackets.com. He's going to talk about his product and his brand, something that you can find on the internet.
Let me say hello to him.
He's on the phone, but you can't talk to him. You know how the phones work here. You can't caller to caller can't hear each other. So you talk.
So you'll ask the questions over the air. It'll work fine.
All right. So go ahead, Graz. What's your first question? Well, let me do the intro first. On the phone today, we have our owner and operator of mybomberjackets.com. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
All right. I don't think I even got your first name. What's your name?
My name's Alex.
Alex, what's going on, pal? How are you?
What's up, man? And you're say your name one more time.
I'm Mike, and we have Pete.
Mike.
How's it going, Alex?
Yes, we co-host
right.
the show. And on the phone, I have the let's say station manager Anthony Graziaday, who has his own podcast here on GovsRadio.com. And so he's wanted to ask you a few questions about the bomber jackets. But before we do that, let me get a little history on your company. I mean, this is a interesting product. I'm going to be honest, there's definitely a need for it out there because I've been using my 12-ounce koozies on my 16-ounce bombers, and I'm not very happy about it. So tell me a little bit about the product.
Yeah. So it started with making an insulator for the 22-ounce bottle. AKA
Tell him to talk
bomber.
louder, old tool.
That's how it started. You know, no one was really making something to keep a bomber insulated, so I was one of the first people to make something for the bomber, and I made a real solid product with a metal zipper.
Okay.
You know, and I had a lot of people like, yeah, I love it, but, you know, I don't drink bombers, so.
What's wrong with those people?
Yeah. I think you can handle a 22. Come on.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I mean, I saw, like, I got into it, and I learned about, like, dye sublimation. One thing about my brand is I do, like, a lot of real crazy dope designs.
Yeah.
And it's all dye sublimation. So I came across that technology, and so I started, you know, expanding, you know, from the bombers, the 22-ounce, to almost every size out there. My most popular size is the C16. That's the model. I call it. It's for the 16-ounce can.
Yep.
Obviously, if you go on Instagram right now, you're going to see everybody's sipping out of pint cans mainly these days. So that's the most popular size I offer.
Some really, and you said dope designs. I mean, when I saw the beer mail one, that really got me.
Yeah.
So I was like, that one's got to be the most popular. You sell out of those pretty quick. I saw, like, after we made our purchase, after speaking with you, and thanks, by the way, for the promo code, we saw that it was completely sold out already. I'm like, we must have got the last two because those are pretty cool.
Yeah, the beer mail, man, that is definitely one of the top sellers. I actually have a beer mail series.
Really?
So I got the beer mail, that's the original one.
Uh-huh.
And then I have a beer mail 2 and a beer mail 3. So they're like different carriers. Like the beer mail 1
the stout
kind of
from
nods
FedEx
to the USPS.
one.
Yeah.
The IPA UPS logo is pretty cool too.
Yeah. So they're all parodies, obviously, but so I got the whole beer mail series. One of them's on. I think they're all on pre-order right now because everything's sold out. But I'll have everything back in stock.
So business is good then. That's awesome.
Have you gotten a cease and desist order from the Postal Service?
Yeah. Have you gotten anybody saying like you're taking like the concept and the artwork from craft beer, craft macaroni and cheese?
That's probably the one that I might, but I haven't. You know, I've never had a cease and desist letter yet.
That's good. And you have
I'm not worried.
Yeah, no, whatever. It's already out there and people are buying them up. So I'll stop as soon as they stop buying them. How about that?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I like the FedEx can that just says stout. That's fantastic. And the barbershop pole that came out for the 12-ounce bottle, that was pretty cool too. I like that one.
Yeah, that was definitely a concept. I was like, man, I got to do that. So I made that happen.
And the Supreme, where it's taken the Supreme logo and to the next level, and that's fantastic. And
I might have to get that barbershop one. Last time I was in the barbershop, I had a 16-ounce beer.
Did you? Nice.
That
There
would
you
have worked
go.
out well. That would have
What
looked
barber are
nice.
you going to?
You got the Campbell soup.
I had a shot of tequila Patron while I was there too.
Did
so,
you?
Yeah.
What are they doing at barbershops
hey,
now?
I
Where
go
you
to good
from?
Barbershops.
Queens? Shit.
Cool.
Yo, what's up, Graz? What's up?
I thought this was a double XL jacket from Baby Bomber. What is this, like a koozie or something like that?
It is. It's a can koozie that is fitting your new 16-ounce bottles, which are probably the most popular craft beer containers now, sold in 4-packs in many of the beer distributors. So he's found a good market for a can koozie that has now fit these 16-ounce bottles instead of the 12-ounces. And like I said at the end of the last break, my 12-ounce can koozie is not quite cutting it for my 16-ounce cans. So.
Wow, I never even knew there was a market for these things. I thought I was trying to get a double XL jacket with some frilling in it.
Yeah,
for the wintertime.
it's almost like having a double XL jacket to go on a larger
For your
can
beer.
size. It's brilliant.
Can we get the logo on there with the word with Mike and Pete?
That's the next step, buddy. We're getting there. Let me get there
Okay,
first.
good.
Let me weave it in there, and then we'll get your chocolate Graz on.
No, the chocolate stout's later. Don't worry about me.
All right. So you also make koozies for pints, and I'm going to tell you, like I've actually used a 12-ounce can koozie that's been a bit stretched out on my pint glasses. So tell me a little bit about this pint. I see IPA in stout, so it's kind of like a play on the In-N-Out Burger logo, and so these fit rather a pint glass very well.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that's my newest model. So that's the G16. Stands for glass 16 ounce.
Okay.
So yeah, that one, that fits the 16-ounce pint glass, very like a glove, and it also fits 16-ounce coffee cups, which is pretty cool.
Oh, nice. There you go. So it's double use.
Yeah. And
Nice.
but people, that's a new one, and I'm really expanding the design options on that just because it's been super popular.
Yeah.
I think people just like it because you can just bring it with you to the bar, and pints get cold. I mean, they get warm too. Just your body temperature, believe it or not, just from holding onto something.
Yes.
Your body's 98.6 or whatever average. So that right there is warming up a drink.
Yeah, you're just
by
absorbing
holding
the
it.
heat from
even if you're
away from the
indoors,
beer.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but so the pint, that's a good seller right now. Everybody's kind of on that. I mean, no one's really doing that.
No.
Right now.
Agreed.
And if they are, I'm doing it a little different. Everything I do, I mean, obviously koozies. I don't like to call my products koozies because they're not koozies.
Yeah, they're jackets. Exactly.
I call them insulators or bombers.
Nice.
That's really the term bombers. But so I mean, everything that what makes a difference between like a koozie and my product is basically the quality and the zippers.
Okay.
So even the can options I offer and even the pint glass size, the G16 features a zipper. And I think that's something you typically don't see on a can koozie. You'll see it on a bottle koozie, but you won't see it on a can koozie.
Yeah, because to try to like shove it on there, it's very awkward with a pint of beer in your hand trying to manipulate it onto the can or the glassware itself, and it's just awkward. To have a zipper there, it slides right in, zipper right up, ready to go.
Exactly.
Can I get a
Especially if it's
picture of
open,
me?
too. Yeah.
Go ahead, Graz. What were you saying? Can you get a picture of you?
Can
What?
I get a picture of me in a Speedo with chocolate coming out of my nipples, doggy style, some chick on one of these koozies?
God, I hope not.
Oh boy. So just so you know, Graz asked, can we get a bomber jacket with Graz's picture in a bikini with chocolate coming out of his nipples? And
Doggy
what was
style.
the other thing?
Doggy
Let's
style.
just leave it there.
And doggy
Let's just
style.
leave it there.
Yeah, well, just so you know, Graz likes to call our show and talk to our brewers about creating a beer specifically about him. It's a chocolate-covered Graz, or Gratz, as Dan Moss from Fire Island calls it. And the Gratz is made with chocolate nibs, which is very much like nibs on his nipples and covered in chocolate sauce. And he has yet to actually have a brewer follow through on promising him that they will make it.
I wonder why.
Not fucking one of them.
Eventually, it will happen if he bothers enough of our guests. But I don't think the can koozies will be. The bomber jackets will be absolutely a hot seller with your picture with chocolate-covered Graz on it.
It would be a fucking limited edition cellar. It would fucking go in a
Limited edition.
On the opposite side of the Wort.
Yes.
But Alex, that is a good question. Like, are there custom any custom options available? Can you upload a photo
I'll do custom starting at 50 pieces. I'm starting to get a little more specific, like on who I work with, but I'm willing to work with most companies, artists. I do a lot of collaborations with like artists, so I'll use like a lot of, we'll take someone's pattern, and put it on my, insulator. We'll do collaborations that way. But yeah, I do custom starting at 50 pieces.
All right, that's good. Good to know.
Someone wants to, yeah.
So if anybody would like to purchase one of these bomber jackets in any form that they want, whether it be the pint glass, the 12-ounce bottle, the 16-ounce can, or even 12-ounce cans, go on to mybomberjackets.com. Mybomberjackets.com will have a huge array of different styles and looks that you're looking for. Absolutely kind of check back because, as he said, we have a lot of his products are selling out very quickly, which means it's gaining a lot of popularity. I guess if you follow the hashtag bomber jacket, you're going to see a lot of them out there with people putting them on their cans and taking pictures. And as soon as
those pretty ladies with beer.
Oh yeah, with big boobs and bomber jackets in between us. That's great.
Yeah, actually, I actually have 2 trending hashtags. My first hashtag was beer cleavage.
Nice.
Yeah, so when someone's like got the zipper down, showing the label.
Oh, brilliant! That's nice. Yeah. Okay, great. And what was the other one?
The other one's War on Warm.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
All right, so follow those 2, War on Warm and Beer Cleavage, on your social media, and you're going to find some people sporting their bomber jacket apparel on there.
I'm touching myself here.
Oh, jeez, Graz.
It's that cleavage.
Can you guys hear each other on the phone?
Yeah, I can hear him, yeah.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Since when did I fix that problem?
God, I've been shutting up the whole time. Alex, I would have done a much better interview than this guy.
Oh, shut the fuck up,
that
Graz.
was working perfectly until we realized that
Damn it, I shouldn't have blown up my own spot and just had... God damn it.
You had to ask that question.
Damn it, I did have to... you guys can't hear each other, can you? Since when did that happen?
You fixed it so good, now we could all join in.
That's right. Well, Alex, I appreciate the phone call in, and definitely all of our listeners, go out and grab yourself a 6-pack of the bomber jackets. Bomber jackets, mybomberjackets.com. In the promo code, type in WART15 to get 15% off your bomber jackets. And hopefully, and like I said, we bought ours. Hopefully, you guys go out and get them because I'm telling you, you're going to need them in the fall, in the spring, in the summer. Your 16-ounce cans, at the festivals, your cans get warm quick, dude. I noticed that about the 16 ounces. Like 12, I can crush and be done with it, but 16-ounce takes me an extra few minutes, and that extra few minutes means the difference between a cold and a warm beer. And I don't want to end up throwing out any, extra ounces of my beer.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Hey, Alex, can I buy in bulk?
Yeah, you can. I do I'll do deals on like a mixed case if you want to do if you want a mixed case of 12, I do a deal on that.
That's awesome.
I might do that for Vital or for the Library Cafe, Michael. It's not a bad,
you got
bad idea.
You got to do like a minimum 50-piece order with them, a little custom, and do the Vital logo and have it, step and repeat around it because he does a really great job with that. And, and then you can get it out to all your customers, make nice Christmas gift like Nicky Nux said.
That's what I'm going to do, and I got 50% off if I mention the Wort, right?
15. Wort 15.
I said 15. I'm sorry. Am I stuttering?
No, but you're on the phone.
Well, kinda. I mean, kinda, a little bit.
Go fuck yourself, Pete.
All right, Alex, I appreciate the phone call,
Thanks
man.
for calling in, Alex. This is
no problem, man.
And hopefully we can get some of our listeners out there buying the jackets, and you call in, and if you ever come closer to New York, come in and hang with us for one of our shows, and hopefully we can get some of the breweries on board too, and they can sell them out of their breweries.
I like that G16, that pint glass insulator.
It is key, right? Because
where is he? O'Toole, where is he?
Alex, where are you located?
I'm out of St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, okay.
I love New York,
sure.
though.
Yeah.
Your fucking football team sucks.
We don't even have a football team.
Yeah, they moved to LA.
That's what I'm saying. It sucks. You ain't got one.
Now, Graz does a sports talk show, so whenever it comes up and he can...
Way to make him feel welcome, Graz.
Yeah.
I'm not even a football guy.
Oh, there you go. No, he's a beer guy, and that's what we care about. St. Louis, the home of Anheuser-Busch, correct?
That's right.
That's
man.
right.
That's right.
But we don't talk about that too much here on the show. It's all about the craft beer. So, thanks again, Alex, for calling in. We'll talk to you soon. I'll be in touch with you, and hopefully we can get some people turned on to the product.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good.
All right, man. I'll talk to you soon.
I appreciate it.
You got it.
Alex, I hope you missed the playoffs in baseball.
What a dick.
Alex is gone, Graz.
I forgot they didn't have a football team, so I figured out I hope you missed the playoffs in baseball.
I don't know where the Cardinals are. I'm not quite
They're
sure.
not in St. Louis anymore?
No, the
Cardinals.
the Rams moved out to L.A.
Oh, okay.
But the Cardinals are there, and I don't know where they are in the standings. That's what I meant. Whether they're going to
four
make
games out of the wild card.
All right, so they're close. They're not going to make it though. It's a tough race.
They're not making it.
I don't
They got
watch
like
very
10
much
games
sports.
left.
No, they're not going to make it.
So what would you have on besides those Brewers, Michael?
All right, so to give you the wrap up, because we're ending our stint here at the Wort, a podcast.
This is early. This is pretty early.
We can go another hour. We didn't even talk to Knuckles yet. I'm just wrapping up with you.
I'm sorry, Knuckles. You get your own fucking segment after I get it.
I do. I'm a special guy.
He will get his
What are
own.
you going to tell him? I'm going to Astoria this weekend. I'll be at the one on Astoria Boulevard.
I don't do
Never
Astoria
go to,
too much, man. I go into Ridgewood and Bushwick. I went out to the Lower East Side this weekend. I've been all over the
What's
place.
your favorite one, Knuckles?
What's
your
favorite one?
In Queens?
Bridge and Tunnel in Ridgewood.
All right, because I'm in Long Island City during the day, and it gets boring over there.
Go over to Wyckoff. Go take the Jackie Robinson over to exit 4. You go to Finback over there.
That's a good one. Yep.
And then you get back on the Jackie Robinson and get off at exit 2 over there by Cooper Avenue. And you take that over to
So
Wyckoff.
why don't you come? I'll come pick you up one day.
Dude, let's do
the
it.
two of us will go out, and then we'll call into Michael and tell him how much the show sucks.
The Graz and Nuck show. And you got to call it something other than the word.
I want to take Mike and Pete with us, Graz, and I want to go on a big tour over there. Once Evil Twin opens up, they're going to open up another one, Evil Twin. It's like world renowned over there in that area. We're going to do a big tour over there. Got Queensbury, Bridge and Tunnel, and Evil Twin.
Nick, I'll do the right thing. I'll do the right thing for everybody. Trust me. If it has something to do with Michael. If it has something to do with Pete, and then we have to throw Michael in, I'll deal with it. Okay.
All right, you do that.
I'll do the right thing with the bus. All right. If we have to have everybody in the bus and put Michael in the car behind us, I'm happy about that.
Michael,
is there a sidecar for the bang bus?
It's called an Uber, and I'll just be Ubering behind the bus the entire time.
Michael, I know you want to get me off, but I got to tell you something.
I don't want to get you off. You're good.
You want him to get you off. No.
Zing.
Do I really want to get me off? Now, listen, you texted me today about a limo, yet I can't get an invite in there. It's starting to get hurtful, Michael.
Dude, I open invite. You know when I'm having a show. Just come in.
How fast can you get here?
No, he's not available right now.
I think Pete pushes me away.
No.
I know that Pete's the talent on the show, but he pushes me away.
Maybe if you called him Pete the Pimp instead of Pete the Penis, man.
No.
I'm the penis.
The word with the pimp and the penis.
Listen, let me put you into the mood here really quick, all right? We're going to go ahead and walk into a bar. All right? So now we're in the bar.
Could you play a song for me?
No. And
Closing time. Play Closing Time by Semisonic.
I was going to set up
those fucking one-hit wonders.
Michael, I want to ask you a question, Michael.
Go ahead.
Do you like this for my opening song? Could you play Russ the flute just a couple of seconds? I want to know your expertise on my opening song from here on in for Limo Talk. Would you do that for me on the word?
What is it called?
Russ, the flute song.
Okay. Let me set up my little story that I want to do. So we're walking into a bar, music's playing, right? It's closing time. Yep. Bang Bus is parked out front.
Val's out, and they're fucking complaining and rushing. Go ahead.
Right, and so we walk into the bar. What are you ordering for everybody? What's the beer you think we're all going to want to drink?
What bar are we going to?
Anywhere in LIC that's like a nice little, hole in the wall that has some good craft beer list.
I'm going to let everybody order a pale ale. That's about a 6.9 Indian pale ale.
Okay.
Very specific.
From Stonehenge. How's that?
Stonehenge.
When I hear
That's a
Stone Edge, I
wine.
think of that shitty fucking strip club that used to be in
Yes,
North
that was
Valley on
knocked down
Sunrise
due to
Highway.
infestation of rats and
Was that on
roaches.
Sunrise Highway? What was that, on
Yes.
Sunrise Highway?
Yeah.
I think I've been there.
I think we've all been there at least once.
Me too.
I thought that was a bikini bar, though.
Yeah, it was. Might have been half naked. It's fine.
I've thankfully missed that place.
Yeah, well, no one really
Not
missed
missing it.
I once had a
I
girl
miss
dance
it.
that was pregnant.
All right, buddy. Listen, we'll put something together and we'll all go out. I know we've been doing it, saying it for a while, but we really do have to do it. And as the winter months come upon us and we all can't just go to the beach and have barbecues, we're gonna find something to do and we'll make it happen.
Can I hear my song and then you can get me off?
What was it called again? I'm sorry.
Oh my God! For the fourth, how many drinks have you had, dum dum?
Hey, I'm putting closing time in.
4.
So.
Russ, the flute song.
Russ, the flute song.
Yeah.
Is that the full name of it?
Yes.
Okay, so this is your intro to your show now.
Yes.
This is something, Graz.
Is it rap? Yeah, it's
Oh. Nope, I'm out.
People keep talking, I just keep winning.
Little trap.
Really?
They talking reckless. I don't believe them. I think they bluffing. They just be talking. They just want clout.
I like it. I like it.
Ooh, he's cursing. All right, very sprinkler system-esque.
I guess you don't like it then.
No, I listen as an engineer and as a music lover, I really do not like current rap. It's all the same note and tone to me. But I do appreciate some of the lyricists still out there. So I got to separate the music from the lyrics and really listen to what he's saying. Which means I really got to sit down and listen to it, which I don't have time for right now in the middle of our show. But
I hate it, Graz. Just want to throw that.
Do you
out
want me
there.
to load it into the system for you?
Like? What would you like, Mike? Pete? What do you like that headbanging thing, right?
Sure do. Throw a little In Flames in there.
I'll listen to it. If Michael could put it up, I'll hang up.
In
You
Flames,
get both out, you get
everything's
the best
gone.
of both worlds.
I got
Throw
this
that on
for
there.
you.
Fuck yeah.
I like this.
Yeah,
That's a
it'll
good intro.
It'll
That's
get a
good
little harder.
intro.
Yeah,
That's a good intro.
we can all get behind this.
Nick, you like it, Nick?
I like it. I like it. I do like the flute song too, but this is a good intro.
The flute song kind of spun me for a loop there for a moment.
This will amp you
Well,
up.
that's what it's
Graz.
supposed to do.
No, this is gonna amp you up. You need this. This is
Yeah,
what you need.
this is pre-game music before you go into a Giants game.
Yeah.
And just freaking Clash of the Titans kind of shit.
Start your show. It's gonna amp
Just
you
wake up in the morning.
Not that you need it. But
Have
You
a
know,
coffee.
whatever.
Blasting in the kitchen, making French
Hey,
toast
Nick,
to
if
this.
you ever want to come into our top quality show, Thursday night, limo talk.
I'm invited.
You're
Buckle up,
always
folks.
invited. You have an open door policy.
You're the best, Graz. My dad used to drive a taxi.
Pete's allowed in anytime too. Michael has to call in advance.
He can only call in. He's only allowed to call in.
All of a sudden, I became the booker here, and I'm not the booker at all.
Mike, I love you. Thanks, Pete. Nick, take care of yourself. The Wort with Mike and Pete, the greatest beer show in the United States.
Love you, buddy. I'll talk to you
Nice
soon.
calling in, Graz.
Good
Take
talking,
it easy.
Graz.
All right, buddy.
See you later.
Later. All right, so we, as we had our phone calls on, we were cracking some beers, and I don't know if anyone on our YouTube page can see it, but we just pulled together the Bridge and Tunnel, the Brett IPA,
Yes.
the Sour Brett.
Sour Bread IPA.
And what do we think about it? I mean, Bridge and Tunnel makes some
Tart.
good.
It's
Yeah,
pretty
it's tart,
interesting.
Very
but it
tart.
definitely has like that IPA back end. So when I
Yeah.
first got it, I'm like, ooh, sour, and then I'm like, ooh, bright. And then I'm like, ooh, IPA. It was like a 3-stage process that I went through, and you almost saw it on my face.
Yeah, the tartness really comes through a lot. It's a very sour IPA.
As opposed to the other sours I've had, I could actually have 2 of these as opposed to just one.
Agreed. I mean, we're only having them in our tasting glasses
it's pretty
today.
good. I like
But
it.
as for a full pint that we may drink, it is definitely a drinkable one that you're not like, oh, I don't know if I could do much more of this, that kind of thing.
I could drink a ton of these.
If you pull, there you go, and then pull that back down. There you go. So Bridge and Tunnel has we reached out to them, by the way, Nick.
Okay.
And Rich has gotten back to us,
Yeah.
and that's another one that we have have on our radar that we need to get in here and talk to because
he's got some good stories.
Yeah, and
his startup is a good story.
Well, you and I had spoken with him very, very briefly at the City Fest.
Right.
Just giving them compliments on that sour porter that we had and some of the other stuff they've been brewing. And you go in there quite often.
Yeah, and he actually will serve you sometimes while he's there. So there are occasions where he'll be in
he's
there.
hands-on.
He'll tell you stories. Absolutely. And everything in there is it's very cozy. Especially, we're coming this time of year.
Yeah.
That's the type of place you want to go to. It's a very cozy place. It's not as big as some of the other places. You can still see all the works. And But what a selection of beer there. Amazing selection. And it's not IPA heavy. There's a large variety, and everything tastes good. I really love that place.
So you said you went down over to Finback this past week and give us our review on what you saw there and what they're doing most recently.
Yeah, well, Finback had a latte stout. It was a coffee coconut stout. That was delicious. I was going to bring that 4-pack in here.
Yeah, no,
we didn't do that.
I said, Pete's not the stout fan.
Pete's not a coffee stout guy.
No, definitely not coffee.
So we went with a Kolsch. We're going to try that again.
Yes,
Are we all done with this now? We
I'm
good.
I'm done with
the
bread was good.
Yeah, it's a good lead into
it.
Let's do
absolutely.
it.
We'll open up some Kolsch from, was it Finback, right?
Yeah, Kolsch from Finback.
So we're going to put up on our Instagram a bunch of the pictures of the beers we drank tonight so you can kind of see what we're working with here. And that includes some of the Saronaks that we started the show with when we were talking with John from Ross. Some of the Saronaks that we had were really good. I like their variety pack. And you know what? One of the first variety packs that came out that was around this time, the Oktoberfest heavy seasonal type multi-pack was Saranac.
Yeah.
You didn't have so much Blue Point coming out with theirs yet. You didn't have Great South Bay having theirs yet. Saranac was one of those first ones, and you can find it in like BJ's and the wholesalers and stuff like that.
Yep.
And they were all solid beer. I would get when I go, wow, this whole case, everything I like in here.
Yeah. Nothing that I also like that. So, like Brooklyn and Sam Adams put out, decent variety packs every year.
Correct.
But like, you're going to get 2 or 3 of, Boston Lager or Brooklyn Lager, and like, those are good
you can
beers.
Have those.
But like,
I can have those anytime.
I don't want that in a variety
Correct.
pack. I want something that's seasonal in the variety pack.
So in this
that's
variety
what I like
pack,
about Saranac, there's nothing that's, Adirondack Lager is not in there. It's,
right.
It's just for seasonal beers.
So what were the seasonal beers that we had in that? It was the
we have the Black Forest Schwarz beer.
I love that,
which is great.
Love it.
Big fan of that.
Yep.
Their Oktoberfest.
Yes.
We didn't get to there's a Pilsner in there.
What was the Das Boot?
And then Das Boot is a Vienna lager. I had one of those. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I like Vienna lagers as well.
Yeah.
And they're all coming in around about just above a 5.
Yeah.
So
Average.
it's drinkable beers.
Yep. The Schwarz beer is my favorite, though. The Black Forest is really good.
That's one of my favorites.
That's an underrated style. Not a lot of people do that. I saw Long Beach is doing a Schwarz beer.
Yes, and we really have to get those beers in here because I know you and I both reached out to them when they posted that stuff and said, hey, this is right up both of our alleys. That's the kind of stuff
underrated style. Not a lot of people do it.
Right. But it's a solid beer.
It's
I mean,
amazing.
anyone that's done it, I've liked it.
Last year when I was up at Mount Snow for the Oktoberfest, Stone Corral, up in Vermont, did a Schwarz beer that was really good. That black lager,
really
good. Yeah,
very very good. So Nux is pouring out some of the Kolsch here, and this is
Brightfield. This is by Finback. Nice can. Huh?
I like the art. Let me see this.
Smells good.
Go like that and a little down. It's hard to see on the YouTube page. Our HD camera is just really very very good, and so it's very small.
HD.
Yeah, well, it is. It is. I guess projecting at 720, so still on the bleeding edge of SD to HD. Brightfield, yeah. Again, I think Finback's very well known for their can art as well.
Yeah.
Very acknowledgeable, very identifiable when you see them in the distributors. And so you said they had a bunch of different ones.
They had a bunch of IPAs, double IPAs. I go for other than IPA, so I went with the stout. I looked at I had the latte. I did have one. I had their Finback.
So wait,
IPA.
the latte. Say that again. What was the
coconut coffee? It's not too strong, so you might like it, Pete. I don't know. I mean, it's not too heavy coffee flavored, and it's like a breakfast almost. It's as light as a breakfast stout. So the breakfast stouts with a nice clean finish.
Right.
That's how this kind of finished over there.
And after what we just had, the Kolsch here it has like that really over-the-top bread feel almost, right? Do you feel that maltiness in the Kolsch? I think that's what separates it out. It's also sort of hazy, too, as opposed to what your normal pills would look like is very clear and see-through. This is got some, I guess, thickness to it.
This is the first time I'm having it too. I just bought it.
Oh, you didn't?
I
You didn't even try it at the tasting room?
And I am enjoying this a lot. This is
yeah,
very
it's good.
nice.
It's got
very bready,
definitely
like you
different
said.
and definitely something.
Not so much.
No. That's fine. I mean, it's one of those things that, we're probably
we all have
drinking
our
so many
styles.
different things tonight.
Yeah, I know. We're all
Between
over
the
the
sour
place
bread,
taste-wise.
and we're all over the place tonight.
Schwarzbier and fucking New England IPA with hibiscus and the sour bread.
Honestly, I don't order Kolsch, but this is a delicious Kolsch, I have to say. I mean, I've had it on occasion, and
I think the only other one I had was from Barrage, the honey Kolsch.
Yes.
Was
They
Touch
had
Me
one
in the morning, I think.
Is that right?
Such a crazy.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is
really
actually,
good.
This is turning me on a little bit. I might have to buy some more
I got a little boner
You want
here.
someone to touch you in the morning?
You know what I mean? I'm going to need to get off like Graz.
It's the Wort with Mike and Pete. We're live on GubsRadio.com. Give us a call, 516-465-3990. Talk a little beer and tell us where you've been at in the last few weeks as we wrap up here in our third hour here of our radio program. And we're tasting a whole bunch of different stuff. And we got Uncle Nux, Nicky Nux, in the studio here talking about some of the Queens beers. So you've been to Finback and you've been to Bridge and Tunnel. What would you think after Bridge and Tunnel would be like your second favorite?
Second, you know what? Finback is probably my second favorite. I started going there first, but I do like both of those. They're in the general vicinity of each other, and they both make a large variety of beer.
They do, yeah, I agree with you on
that. And I really do like that. KCBC and Bushwick is very good too. Kings
And we've
County.
had a bunch of that here in the studio. That's one of the ones that I'm really into because they've had, first of all, it's immediately seen in the stores because of its can art. And then their collaborations are right on point. So between all of that, I think we have a phone call really quick. Let's take that.
can art is
This is the
amazing.
Wort with Mike and Pete. Who do we got?
Michael, it's me.
Okay, what's up?
Sorry to bother you. I apologize.
No, it's
Hi,
okay.
Pete, I love you.
That's
Doing a
okay.
great job, Pete. Keep it up. Nick,
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry to bother you.
Don't be sorry.
It's come to the point now when we've been talking about. I've been in the area for 2.5 years, and I'm starting to do beer tours. You seem to know more than any one of these two fucking yokels over there. So if I want to do a beer tour from Farmingdale, it's the buses coming out of Farmingdale, probably the Library Cafe, and I want to go to two places. It doesn't matter if it's got to be fucking Poughkeepsie and then over to Red Bank and then whatever. But I want to do it on the island, so it could be Valley Springs or whatever. What do you recommend?
I don't know, man. Let's see. Let's see. You want to leave out of Valley Stream, or you want to go from
Limited-
Farmingdale to Valley
Limited
Stream?
to Queens. From Farmingdale to Queens, what are the two breweries you should hit up in Queens?
Or Farmingdale out to Suffolk County or even somewhere. What is your perfect? If you were to do a
Like
beer
a tour, like a tour.
in Suffolk to Nassau County, what would you tell me to go to 2-3 breweries? Where would I go?
They're concentrating in a lot of places now, Graz. You know what I mean? Out there in Bayshore, like, what do they have? They got the Dub Cove,
There's like
the
5.
Fire Island, and...
Dubco, Great South Bay, Fire Island, Brewers Collective, soon to be Hopwinds. Secatog is opening up in West Islip, which is down,
Yeah, it's not too far
stone's throw
away. Hop, skip, and a
That's
jump.
what you guys got to do. I'm tired of this bullshit. I've got people.
Graz, you got to go to.
you got to do a few of them. You got to do a few tours. And
Sand City, that's a popular
you
one.
could do a North Shore Trail.
Yeah.
You could do Huntington, you could do
Garvey's Point, Oyster
Garvey's
Bay,
Point, Oyster Bay,
Huntington,
Sand City.
Northport. You go all along, right down 25. Right down 25. You just shoot up north in each town.
Okay.
And you go from you go Glen Cove, Oyster Bay, Huntington, and then Northport. You go out, then you could, if you want to go make it a whole day thing, you go all the way out to Port Jeff. And
No,
then
see,
Greenport,
here's
and then
Here's the
Greenport.
problem. Here's the problem, okay? We want to, you know, this like you guys. Now, listen. This show is getting so popular that I have to make sure that my hosts, Pete and his sidekick Michael, are able to get home at night. And I know that they're getting.
You're driving. You're driving.
No, but we got to get home from Farmingdale eventually.
No. So
Not
I want to
door-to-door
do the
service.
ultimate thing, which is about 20 miles out from Farmingdale.
Right.
So tell me what two of them would be, please.
20 miles
Start
out from
the show,
Farmingdale.
Michael.
I mean,
Sand City.
Yeah, I'm going to jump in and say if Sand City is small. So if you're going to do like a Friday, Saturday night, it's going to be packed
It's a
out.
Saturday and Sunday. It's a Saturday and Sunday.
Sunday would be
It's gonna be
easier,
good.
but Saturday would be a rough one because they do have a very limited amount of space at
So
Sand
then
City.
give me somebody else then.
So then I would say as a quick tour on a Saturday, you're better off going to Bayshore because you can hit up Dubco when they first open, and then you can go over to Great South Bay, and they have a huge facility at Great South Bay where you can sit and hang for a while. There's a tremendous amount of space to roam, so you can bring in a number of people. 20, 30 people wouldn't even be a drop in the bucket there.
Incorporate a bar that has food in between.
Too. I want to see Dan. I want to be able to see Dan every once in a while if I go out there because I like that guy.
Dan is actually at the Great South Bay facility. His tasting room is off the back end. So
there's not a tasting room.
Dan Moss for president.
Well, he will be. He will have a tasting room off the back end. It's actually there, and everything's there. It's just a matter of, in my opinion, as I was talking to Kerry from All Sorts, that there is he's doing a lot of contract brewing. So I think he's more focused on that because he's making money, not even trying to do anything, than actually opening his tasting room and having staff and all the other things that go with that. I'm just talking out of place here, but I also think there's probably some sort of licensing thing that he's still working on and whatnot. So there's probably a couple of hurdles in the way, but he's definitely there a lot. And so if you start bringing a bus in and talking to him about it, I'm sure he'll end up somehow squeezing his beer in there. There's no doubt about it.
All right, so we're gonna text each other. But what I also get out of this whole show, out of everything, and I hope your wife is listening, that you fucking seem to be brilliant at maybe doing a brewery. So somebody should take you and have them run the fucking brewery and the restaurant, and then me outside like a chicken soup. It would work, I'm telling you.
Listen, I don't have any more time. I just retired as a bartender after 20 years. I'm not going to
start.
You're not
at the Campaign House anymore?
No, I retired. I worked my last shift a few weeks ago. I'm on call if I ever am needed, but more than likely I'm probably not going to end up being a couple of shift-a-week bartender anymore. My services are
fucking time.
Yeah, well, no kidding. My kids are starting to grow up, and I need to spend a little bit of time with them. And my wife and I are in a good place, where I don't need necessarily the extra cash anymore. It was definitely nice, but I definitely don't need it. And I think
it looks stuffy. It looks stuffy. I was outside on Friday night. I was going to come in there.
Oh yeah.
I was in my shorts and a t-shirt and a giant hat, and everybody had jeans and a fucking long shirt on, and the lights were on really bright. I'm like, I'm not going into that.
The Campaign House?
Oh, it was like, about 11 o'clock. The light was on real bright. I'm like, I'm not going in there.
Yeah,
I want darkness.
They don't make it into a club. It's a restaurant with a nice bar. So that's the strategy there. Is their kitchen is unbelievable. And then
I heard the food's great there, bro.
Yeah, and they host some beer drinkers a little later, but they don't stay open late night. They're not a late night spot.
You get some pappardelles afterwards.
You're done. You're retired from that.
I am. I'm retired from that, and from that, I don't need to pick up another whole position that would.
I have a position for you.
Is it here at Gubs Radio?
No, what was that?
Is it here at Gubs Radio?
Yes. I have a position for Limo Talk. I want you to become the producer of Limo Talk. How's that?
I can handle some of that, but I'm going to need some sort of partner in crime.
You're going to be compensated. I want you to do the advertising.
All right.
You to do the.
I'm not a great.
We can talk about. I know. We're talking.
I know, but I'm not a great advertiser. We're just actually. We just crossed over the 900 followers mark on Instagram, which is a big thing for us.
Oh, fuck yourself!
We're cruising. We're cruising. We're cruising in on 1,000. We're gonna do a 1K giveaway, I think, once we get our bomber jackets in and whatnot, and kind of cross promote with that. We have a couple of people that are.
You know what? This was supposed to be me. It was supposed to be me.
Oh
now
my goodness!
1,000 followers,
You're a part of
1,700
this.
fucking tweets.
Listen, we have a very niche product that we're peddling out to our brewers and our craft beer lovers, and they're picking
peddling
it up.
is a good term for it.
Yes, we are peddling our wares to our audience members and our listeners.
Yeah, you're probably fucking blowing half the brewers to get them on.
Oh,
I mean, hey, you got to do what you got to do, Graz. All right.
Yeah, well.
No answer out of that one. Crickets. I don't even get a little chuckle out of that one. That was a good one.
No, I'm not. I'm not going
Anything to make fun of you, Michael.
Yeah, all right.
That's what it's about.
Oh yeah, how about this?
The doctor is in.
That's right. Dr. O'Toole is here. He's going to discuss some.
Is that for the other show?
Yeah, I loaded a whole bunch of new stuff in here.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah. Anyway, so listen, we'll try to put something together for you. I do want to explore that idea of doing a brew bus. That's not a bad idea.
I want you to
in the
do
Nassau
I'll
County
have
area.
You take a piece of it. The Wort could be the co-fucking owner of the tour, and you could put Nick as the treasurer if he wants to throw in a fucking the koozies with the Wort on there.
Yeah.
Nick can be the host on the bus. Like, do you have a speaker system where you can
MC?
announce what's going on the bus?
Hi, good evening. This is Nick.
Exactly.
Nick Nichols.
Nick's
On
got
your left, you have Dubco, and on your right, you have Fire Island Brewery.
Well, no, we're gonna put Nick up. We're gonna put Nick up in the news helicopter, and he's gonna report from in the air.
This
You have
is
a
Nick.
helicopter sound?
Yes, Nick is. Go
happening
ahead and take a
over
look at.
helicopter
Over
sound.
Whitecoff Avenue.
Yeah, we're over Whitecoff. There we go.
And you'll see down below that I have lots of things that you can see, including some breweries. And we're going to go ahead and land our helicopter right here on Bridge and Tunnel. And,
A lot of women down there. Nobody's got a bra on.
All right, buddy. We'll talk a little later, and we'll discuss the details as we go along.
There is no discussing. You're taking over my advertising. Tell your wife you got a third job.
Oh, great. She's not going to accept that one. I'm going to have to break it to her gently.
You tell you work from home.
Your wife likes me. She thinks I'm the funny.
She does. She thinks you're the funny part of the show. She doesn't think I'm funny. She thinks Pete is mildly interesting, and then she definitely thinks you're the
Pete
best
is
thing.
very funny. I think you're a dud.
Thanks, buddy.
No, you know what I like is you sit back and let the Brewers talk for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And you're 30 minutes into the show. You don't have to worry about the next hour and a half.
No, that's fine. We had plenty of things lined up tonight, so we made it happen. And that's why I brought Knuckles in. Knuckles is very informative about his Queens and Brooklyn beers, and we have him come in and bring us some beer and talk a little bit about it. And we're going to continue that as soon as we hang up with you.
Bye, Knuckles.
No, take care, Graz. We're going to do that tour soon.
Please, hey, Michael, give him my number or vice versa. Text it to me, and I'll reach out to him.
I will.
He's going to
Absolutely.
set up the Great American to Work with Pete and the Penis tour.
I'll come in and talk some sports and limo talk, too.
There you go. Nick knows his sports.
Dude, you want to listen? I got.
I'm a driver. I drive all over the place. I know. I got a lot of stories about the road.
We got Goomba Johnny, Mike Nicolia, Matt Alvalo. Inz is coming in. Hector just got a major part in some show. So with B-Mel and Thomas got little sports clips going on now. We're moving into the next century.
That's right.
what's
GovsRadio.com.
up, man. That's
We're moving up.
Wow. Is there a holiday here in the city? Is it Yom Kippur?
It
What
is.
it?
It is.
It is.
Tonight they're all home
There's
by.
there's a lot of Jewish
They're
people
all
in front of
home.
me.
They're all
They
home by
don't.
dark. They got no work
Those
after dark.
people.
You know, that's why I'm going to be honest. That's really why I wanted to do a show
He's
tonight.
off tomorrow,
because
dude.
every person that is Jewish is in their home, and what else are you going to do
I don't think they
but
can
listen
play
to the
radio.
Wort with Mike and
I don't
Pete?
think they can play the radio.
You think they're awful?
They're not
shy?
even allowed
Kosher
to
brewer
drink
I think they're
anything.
allowed to play the
They
radio.
Well, there goes my
have to
epic
starve
fail.
themselves.
But you're off tomorrow, aren't you?
I am off tomorrow.
See that? So that's why
Right.
you don't mind running. a
There's
little
no
late
waking
over
up for
here.
me tomorrow. I'm not going to hear that tomorrow.
No, the
That's
kids.
a
You're
lot.
gonna hear
5:30
the
in the
kids.
morning.
The kids are gonna be all over you.
Yeah, well, that'll sound a little different.
You don't need that.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
That's a lot of Jewish people. See you later.
Later, Graz.
Mazel tov.
That's Anthony Grazide from Limo Talk right here on Govs Radio. Let me give you the quick lineup of what's going on here on Govs Radio before we start drinking our faces off and getting out of here. So on Monday nights, we have Dr. Love. I'm sorry, take that back. I got the programming wrong. I have it memorized. Hold on a second. Monday through Friday, we have our friends over at Knock 'em Dead Comedy, Tony and Eric, with Sally is going to be in the studio from 11 to 1 o'clock every single day. We also have Steve Squared happening on Monday, every other Monday, starting on September 17th. That was yesterday, from 7 to 8. They'll be on talking a little bit about everything. One's an actor, one's a comic, one's a whatever. Throughout the week, we have a bunch of podcasts at night. Rotating Limo Talk is every other Thursday, opposite Planet Comedy. They'll be on. That's Hector Luis's show. As Graz just said, he just got a major part, so I'm sure that's something interesting to tune into this upcoming Thursday. We also have Dr. Love, like I mentioned. It was Dr. Love is going to be on Tuesdays from 8 to 10. We have the Dan show. I forget his last name. Tea Time with Teresa is happening now on Tuesdays, right after the Knock 'em Dead Comedy. So from 1 to 3, it's Tea Time with Teresa. And she's a comic that is going to speak about, various women thoughts. So if you're a woman and you're listening to our show,
women thoughts?
I don't know. Various women thoughts is all I could come up with without trying to be and sound sexist. Various things that women talk about.
That didn't sound too sexist.
She will talk about. It's Tea Time with Teresa. Do me a favor. Go to govsradio.com. Check out all our podcasts. There's links to all their YouTube, social media, stuff like that. They'll have posts up there. Also, check out the YouTube pages. Social media, all that other good stuff. This is The Wort, just so you know, if you didn't know. And we want to really thank our guests coming in. Nick, dude, this has been a hell of a time.
Awesome.
Thanks for bringing in some good
happy to be here.
Queens beers from Bridge and Tunnel and Finback.
About time we had you in studio.
Instead of on the phone all the time. You see how hard it is to deal with people on the phone?
Not at all. This was great, man.
All right, cool.
Time flies. You guys.
It
are
is.
fun.
It's 2.5 hours in, and it's like
it does fly.
It always flies, especially when you're sitting here drinking and catching a buzz.
Drinking with friends. That's what it's.
That's it, buddy. We thank Anthony Graz today, because if I didn't thank him first, I'm going to get another phone call on the way home saying you didn't even thank me. But thank you, Anthony, for calling in and giving us our comic relief. We are going to explore that concept of having our own brew tours, the Wort tour. That'd be cool. In through the Nassau to Queens, potentially northern Suffolk and Nassau areas. Some great breweries up there that we mentioned. Also, we really want to thank John from Ross Brewing. That was awesome for them to call in. Kerry and Dan from All Sorts, they're all combining, like I said, to make a Voltron of a brewery, and that will create some really great buzz in the town of Red Bank, New Jersey.
And really buzzed patrons.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. I don't know where you were going with that. Buzz. Are we talking about buzz cuts, like scissors?
No, the buzz will bring them in and they'll leave with a buzz.
The buzz.
They're serving alcohol.
I got it
The
now.
buzz
I'm
will
sorry.
bring them
It
in,
went way over
and
my
they'll
head, and
leave
it
with a
shouldn't have,
buzz.
but it did. I apologize. What else? We want to thank Alex from My Bomber Jackets for calling in. Andrew
from Local to
Locals for calling in. Also the owner of Hicksville Beer. Go check him out on Woodbury Road in Hicksville. Great place to find your local craft beer. And, of course, this is The Wort with Mike and Pete. And, Pete, what do we got for the rest of the night?
Oh, I got to hit the bathroom right now. So,
right, so we're gonna wrap it up. All right. The Wort with Mike and Pete. Check us out on govsradio.com, YouTube. Check us out for our replays. That's on our Laughable app, our Hopped Up network, iTunes, and of course, all day, every day. Listen, we're gonna have a show coming up here in October. We're trying to settle in on the date. We're trying to make sure that the brewer that we had scheduled can still make our date. We're going to switch over to probably Monday nights from now on. And I know that interferes with Monday Night Football, and we apologize for that. It's only going to interfere with local programming of the Giants twice. Once is really going to, October 22nd, the Giants play the Falcons. And another time sometime in November. I don't know why the Giants got Monday nights all the time. But anyway, but, like I said, if you don't catch us live on Govs Radio or on YouTube, you can always go back and listen to us. Check it out. Also, do me a favor, check out our local sponsorships. That's our mybomberjackets.com. Type in WORT15 in the promo code. That's WORT15 to receive 15% off your purchase on mybomberjackets.com. And we'll see you in a few weeks, probably one of those days in the first week of October, the 1st, the 2nd, or 3rd. Check out our social media. That's at The Wort, a podcast, and keep up to date. Anything else we need to cover? Did I cover everything? I said
good.
things probably twice. That's okay. All right, guys. We'll talk to you soon. This is The Wort with Mike and Pete. GovsRadio.com.
Later.
Peace out.
Well, that's 2 hours of your life that you'll never get back.
Are you kidding me?
Please hang up and try again.
This has been The Wort on Govs Radio. I hope you're drunk enough.